Hello? Am I back? Hello? Hello? Hopefully, I'm back. Okay, I need to set some music because it's too quiet and it's unnerving. Hey, hello. Testing!
Hello, 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 echo.
Okay. Phew! Are we back? Hopefully I am back. Okay. The YouTube side is back, I think? Cool. Anyways, hello, testing, 1, 2, 3. Emergency shutdown for minute browser history reveal. Looks like my, OBS was like, nope, even that's a bit too sus for the internet. Not that there is anything sus. Haha, it was a joke. Okay, so, let me pull up a window again. Okay, testing. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. We should be back, hopefully. We are so back. Okay. I'm just gonna get rid of this. Okay, I think the problem was I tried to click a bit too fast. God forbid, heavens forbid, a man try to click his little program a bit too fast. I'm just gonna trash. I'm just gonna add a source. I'm gonna add a browser source or Windows source. Let's do a window capture. Temp. I'm not even gonna type that fast as well. Okay, do not make the source visible. Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna place this slowly, lest I fuck up again by moving things around. So, where do I need to place this, right? So, it's not a picture of Ohio. I need to put it there. So I'm gonna put it somewhere here. Cool. Okay. Testing. Hopefully I am live. Hey! Finally. God damn, that took a while. Okay, let me shrink my browser. Okay, I need to put this behind my model, so I'm gonna put it just behind here. Okay, I put myself. How are y'all doing? Is my sound and video coming through? Hopefully. Anyways, as I was saying before, we got rudely interrupted by the internet. Are we back? Nice. Okay, so this. Speaking of spicy gummy bears and stuff, and I'm not talking about myself, this is the gummy bear that I had at work at like, wait, how many days into work was I in? So this was just before that day. So 3 days into work, this is the gummy bear that I had. Little Nitro, the world's hottest gummy bear, supposedly. So, here's some context behind this. One, I think amongst my friends and I probably have the best spice tolerance. That's one thing. Two, in my folly, I've been bragging about, like, I could probably eat really spicy things without flinching. And so, my coworkers, to really, challenge me in my claim, bought me the Little Nitro, the world's hottest gummy bear, and brought it to work. Now, the day that I ate it at work, it's a bit of the day was dragging on. One of my coworkers was kind of cooked, from just, okay, mind you, we both have different roles, even though we're in the same department. His role is a bit more stressful than mine, so he was a bit cooked. Anyways, to cheer him up, I and my other coworker, who are of the same role, decided, you know what? I'm just gonna eat the hottest gummy bear. If I suffer, it's gonna be funny AF anyway. And so that day, let's say at around 11:30, I opened up the infamous gummy bear, right? Unpacked it. I even took a video. I actually took a video of it with my old Sony camcorder from 2005. I do have pictures of that later. So yeah, I took I had my buddy take a video of me with that camera, so it's giving that early home movie nostalgia sort of vibe. Anyways, opened the gummy bear, and then boom, popped it in my mouth. So I gave it like, let's say 19 chews and stuff, and as I was chewing it, it wasn't overly spicy. So, I mean, yeah, it wasn't any spicier than any of the spicy, really spicy food that I would have eaten in the past, right? Although, mind you, when I did like mid-chewing, when I would swallow, it did make me cough, but that's just natural. That's something you'd expect from spicy food, right? Anyways, after 19 or 20 chews, and I did 19 or 20 chews, because I was challenged to at least chew it 15 times before swallowing, and who am I to back out from a challenge? Swallowed the gummy bear, and boom! Didn't really feel any pain. The spiciness in the mouth wasn't enough to make me tear up, let's say. So that's fine, right? I think the mouth pain wasn't the issue. The thing that people fear was the stomach pain. Anyways, as I was chewing, right, here I was bragging in front of camera that it did not hurt at all, that I did not feel uncomfortable. However, 5 minutes into me bragging that it didn't hurt, I started to feel somewhat uncomfortable. Now, it didn't hurt, but it's, you know, the feeling of when you eat something really, really spicy and it's in your belly now, or in your like stomach. So that's what it felt. It felt like it was starting to heat up. Anyways, right? It started to heat up, and I was there like still on video saying, you know, oh, I do feel like it started to heat up down there, but you know, it's fine, no problem whatsoever. I'll be fine for the rest of the day. Anyways, a few more minutes of that, I decided, the bro spent the whole day on the toilet. Ha ha ha! Well, I'll get to that soon. A few minutes later, I felt uncomfortable enough to warrant me getting up from my seat and going to the actual toilet. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna spend a few minutes in the toilet, right? Worst case scenario, I'll have to be in the toilet. So I just thought to myself, I might as well be there, lest the worst case scenario happens. So I make my way to the toilet, right? Enter the bathroom, enter the second stall, because I prefer the second stall, not the first stall, because I feel like the first stall is probably one of the most often used stalls, and hence the dirtiest. Anyways, in the second stall, boom, that's where I just sat. I just sat there, you know? Prepared for the worst, and let me tell you, it was the most intense 3 minutes of pain that I had. For that 3 minutes, well, not pain, but it's the most intense heat I've ever felt in my digestive system. For 3 minutes straight, the heat was just rising. It was like a graph of x squared, y is equal to x squared. It was just like spiking, going to the moon, right? 3 minutes of intense heat. Now, I do have photos of my face mid-pain. I had like beads of sweat gathering between my eyebrows and the corners of my eyebrows. It was hot, right? It was like I was going through something, and that something was something terrible. Anyways, it was 3 minutes. Photos on the toilet, yes, but you know, I'm not giving those out for free, of course, you know. If you know, with Twitch Prime, you can unlock certain benefits, such as photos of me in the toilet while suffering the consequences of eating a really hot gummy bear. Anyways, so 3 minutes of intense pain and sweat, and the whole time, right, I was freaking the fuck out. I was imagining a bunch of scenarios in my brain. One is like, oh, the worst case scenario, this actually, I may need to go to the hospital, or it feels like that may be the worst case scenario, but I doubt it was going to happen. And, you know, I'm going to make it to the whole workplace going to find out about the guy who, you know, fucked himself over by eating something too spicy at work. So this whole time I was there, it was mind over body. I was mentally repeating a mantra in my head again and again and again, just to take my concentration, just to not think of the pain, right? It was from the Legend of Korra, the mantra from Zahir. I kept telling myself, let go of your earthly tether, enter the void, empty and become wind. Again and again and again, for maybe, let's say, 2 minutes and 30 seconds of the 3 minutes of pain. Anyways, the good thing is, after 3 minutes, the heat stopped escalating, right? It was done. I actually felt like I could recover, right? I felt like, wow, that's it. 3 minutes of pain. That was pretty good. I don't know, like, so much for the world's hottest gummy bear. Because apparently my buddy and, well, his brother-in-law or something, they suffered through it for, what, 6 hours? Which is why I had it at 11:30, so that, you know, I'd rather suffer during work hours. I'd rather be getting paid while I suffer than be suffering while I'm not working. You know what I mean? So, after 3 minutes of intense heat, nothing. Zilch. I felt nothing anymore. It was pretty good. So, I was feeling pretty confident. So I stood up from where I was sitting. I was like, you know what? This is pretty good. Now this is where I fucked up, right? This is where I royally screwed myself over. In my folly, I told myself, well, maybe that was just the first round of pain. Maybe there's like a second or third round of pain. So, I decided in my folly to recreate, for some reason, the thing that people in the Great Depression used to do, so people in the Great Depression, apparently some of them used to, or this is what I read from some random Instagram post, they used to rapidly tight a belt around their waist just so they don't feel as hungry. So that is exactly what I did. I took off my belt from my pants and just put it around my not my waist, maybe my waist, where my stomach is, and I like tightly wrapped it around me. Now this is the fuck up, because the moment I like, you know, pulled on it tightly, dude, it wasn't heat nor spiciness, it was pain that I felt in my stomach. It's like intense, sharp pain. It was like my muscle felt like it was cramping without it actually cramping. By God. It was more intense than the actual spice. I did that once and I was like, oh, that's weird. Why is it more painful? So I did it, I pulled it again. And I was like, oh no. So, anyways, I immediately realized the error of my ways, not soon enough, undid my belt and put it, you know, just put it back in my pants and stuff. And I was like, well, this is fucked. So, anyways, left the bathroom stall, washed my face, and at the same time, another guy was at a urinal and was like, hey, ha ha ha, I heard about what you're doing. Ha ha, I thought you were gonna be in the bathroom for hours. And I was like, oh, ha ha ha. Oh, you know, I've got an iron gut. I don't feel such pain. Meanwhile, I suffer in silence. Of course, I had to maintain my nonchalant appearance. I have a reputation to maintain. Anyways, as we were walking out of the bathroom, oh my god, it was like I had to hold in the pain. I couldn't focus on what the guy was telling me. All I could focus on was the fact that I am fucked, because this hurts a lot. It's like, God, it feels like you're being scratched from the inside. It's like, it's like being ripped open from the inside. Like I don't know, like a xenomorph is trying to punch out of you. I'm guessing that's how it feels like. So, 2 minutes into me walking back to the office, I couldn't handle it anymore. Well, I felt like I'm reaching that point. So I spoke to the guy I was speaking to. I was like, hey, do you know where the fatigue room is? Because we do have a fatigue room at work. And he was like, oh, it's just near the bathroom, just back there. And I told him, okay, you know what? I think I may need to lie down. So I turned around, went back to the fatigue room. And it's quite a strange arrangement, because to get to the fatigue room, you have to enter someone else's office. Anyways, walked through the door, said hi to the guy who was in that office, and went to the fatigue room. Now, the fatigue room actually is, imagine it's a small bedroom. You know, you got a bed and a desk with a computer. I feel like it was originally a fatigue room with just a bed, and then someone just shoved a computer desk and a computer in it and a whiteboard, so it looks kind of like an office. So, yeah, it looks like a bedroom with a computer, essentially. So, went to the fatigue room, turned on the aircon. It still has one of those old school aircons, ACs, you know, not the like long rectangular types, more like the square type. Anyways, lie down in bed, and dude, I was rolling around in the bed like a worm for what felt like probably 5 more minutes, but it felt like forever. I was just rolling around the bed in pain. I tried stretching. How did I describe the stretch? You know those yoga sort of stretches where, let's say, your belly is pointed upwards to the sky, and your arms and are flat into the ground. So your hands are flat into the ground. So are your feet. So it's like being on all fours with but upside down, but reversed. That sort of thing. I'm not sure if I can paint a good picture of that. It's like, okay, how do I do this? Yoga stretch. It was this, but the inverse, where I don't know how to describe it. It was like, okay, imagine this, but I'm stretched upwards. I wish I knew what it was. This! I tried doing that. I tried doing the wheel. I tried stretching myself left, stretching myself right. I tried doing a, I guess sitting down flat and doing this sort of thing. I tried stretching every stretch I could think of. It wasn't working. It hurt bad still. So, oh wait, hold on. So, it clearly wasn't working, moving around and writhing like a worm in bed. So I thought to myself, well, what if I do the opposite? What if I just stay put? Right? Because that's what I noticed. The difference between now and when I was in the bathroom is that in the bathroom I was relatively stationary, and I maintained more or less the same position throughout the entire time. So that's what I did. I sat down, you know, legs crossed, as if I were about to meditate, and I just started telling again the mental mantra I had earlier: let go of your earthly tether, enter the void, empty and become wind. I just concentrated on me saying that. For the first few times I tried saying it, I couldn't even get all of the words right, just because, God, it was so hard to not think of the pain. After a while, I eventually could. It feels like the more I could say the words, the less I really felt the pain. Anyways, eventually I was able to say the entire mantra. Did that multiple times, and finally I was at a point where I felt good enough. So I sent a selfie to my friends saying, you know, middle finger up and saying, I survived, bitch. You know that old photo that floated around the internet before about some guy who went through a surgery and sent a picture to his sister, be like, oh, I survived, bitch. It's the same sort of thing. That's what I was referencing. Anyways, took that photo, sent it to friends, and my coworker, my buddy, came into the room, let's say 5 minutes later, with a camera to take a video of me just, you know, vibing and stuff. And at that point, I was literally just a chill guy, just chilling in a bedroom. It did not. So I had to fix my hair and what have you, redid my ponytail just so it looks like I did not struggle a lot. Of course, I got a reputation to maintain. Anyways, took a video of me, and there I was bragging, saying, well, I did say it was a horrible pain. It's like I went through the 9 stages of hell, but it was only like 5 minutes long. Boom. So I took a video of me with my classic 2005 camera. Bantered for a bit. Then he went back to the office, and I was there, chilled for 5 more minutes before taking the risky move of standing up. I stood up. I felt the pain spike just a bit. But then as I stood, since I was just standing in place, it immediately simmered back down. And after that, I made the long 2-minute walk back into the office while maintaining as straight a posture as much as possible. Apparently, when I came back to the office, I looked pale as fuck. I didn't think I looked that pale, but I guess I did really look pale. I guess my lips sort of lost its color or whatever. But yeah, I apparently looked like I was I looked fine, at that point I was no longer sweating and stuff. I looked prim and proper, except I was just really, really pale as fuck. So yes, that was the story of how I survived these, I would say, 8 minutes of pain of the 9 million, supposedly 9 million Scoville gummy bear. I skipped lunch that day out of fear of triggering. Look, I don't know if any slight movement made it hurt. I didn't want more food going down to make it hurt even more. I was just drinking water the entire time. So I was pretty hungry by the end of that day. And quite surprisingly, this is a bit TMI, right? This is a bit TMI. It didn't hurt the next morning when, let's say, whatever I ate made its way out. So, again, I feel like eating the 9 million Scoville gummy bear, it's a success. It was a success, which means I could probably survive anything at this point, right? Including the 1.5 million Scoville hot chip, which I was challenged to do so as well. What was it? Hot chip challenge? Isn't it banned in some countries or something? I think it was banned somewhere because it hospitalized someone. I have no idea. It's this, which apparently has, what, 1.5 million Scoville? So if I can handle 9 million Scoville with relative ease, I could handle this again. Honestly, I feel like if I were to eat this little nitro again, I probably could. Because I already know what to expect, so I'm prepared for it. I know what to do, which is to simply not move at all. Will I do it again? Probably not, unless someone says the fighting words of "I bet you couldn't do it," and then I would probably do it just to prove a point again, because nothing gets me going more than spite. So that is how the early part of my week went. I survived. Here I am, clearly alive. Do I recommend it? Probably not. I am built different, as you all know. Iron gut and all. That's why they call me Blue Iron Gut Echo. Anyways, so I do not recommend, but it was fun. And that was only one of the challenges that I got involved in during the week. There was another okay. I feel like I don't want to say that I foolishly involved myself in this, but there's a good chance I did, right? So there's another challenge that I involved myself in, and that's pretty much the common pattern, the common theme of the last week. Me just getting involved in stupid, dumb challenges because someone told me I couldn't do something. So, what was I saying? Yeah. So, okay. So during the week, again, my coworker and I were just, casually chatting as you do in work to kill some time. It was during my break time, during my allocated break time in my Pomodoro little session. After 45 minutes of work, I would take a 10-minute break. Anyways, it was in the middle of that my coworker and I, my friend and I, got into talking about. I don't know how we ended up in the topic, but we were talking about going to the gym and whatever and working out. Anyways, he was saying how, now mind you, the guy hasn't been in the gym in a while. I think we were talking about his surgery, his back surgery that was to occur, or that had already occurred, or at the time it was to occur. And he mentioned, because of his back injury, which he's had for the past 5 years, he hasn't really been able to do his best in the gym, let's say, because, he has to think about his back. Anyways, as we were in the topic of, the gym and what have you, he talked about how he used to do bench presses, and what was the weight he used to do? Probably 140 kilos or 70 kilos. I don't quite remember how much he could bench press before, but all I know is it was divisible by 7 or 70 at least. Anyways, because he said, he could, he did say, before that he could bench 70 and that the max he could curl, like, if he were to do a bicep curl, was probably like 20 or 25, which, upon hearing that, I jokingly said, shouldn't you be able to do 35? If you can do 70 bench press, surely, just divided by 2, you can do 35 each arm. Simple math, my guy, simple math! That's what I told him, half in jest, I was like, just kidding around, just making banter, just sorta poking fun at him. And he said, bro, lifting 35 kilos by like one arm, curling 35 kilos, impossible. Can't be done. That's gonna hurt, right? And I said, that's rubbish, my guy. What do you mean? It's impossible. If you can lift 70 with your, 2 arms, mind you, it's a bench press. Surely you can lift 35. To which he said, of course, oh, but there are different muscle groups, blah, 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 blah. I said, you're just making that up, that's not real. To which he said, again, the famous fighting words, I bet you wouldn't be able to curl 35 kilos. To which I may have foolishly said, I bet I can. I bet I could. I bet I will. Hold on, I need to fix it. Boop. Just fixing some settings. A second. Boop, boop, boop. There, hold on. Okay, cool. Anyways, to which he said the fighting words of, I bet you couldn't. To which I foolishly said, oh, I bet I could curl 35 kilos. So, which upon research is somewhat possible, but very, very difficult, apparently. Anyways, this is what I eventually plan on doing. Assuming this is 35 kilos, I plan on curling 35 kilos. So, anyways, I said I bet I could do it. So, okay, it might have been 35 kilos or 30 kilos, regardless. Again, I just said it for the sake of saying it. I didn't really mean it at first. But then, this is where things got, let's say, a bit more interesting. So, upon saying that, oh, I bet I could curl 35 kilos. Oh, it's funny because my gym actually looks very similar to this. Anyways, he said, okay. $150. $150. I bet you can do it. And that's all he needed to say for me to fully commit and say, you know what? Fuck you. I will be able to lift 35 kilos. So he said, okay, by the end of the year, $150, I'll give you $150 myself if by the end of this year, which is 7 months from now, you are able to curl any arm, left or right, your choice, any arm. If you can do at least one curl, while standing up of a 35 kilo dumbbell, boom, $150 for me. And I said, fuck it, deal. But, that wasn't enough. That wasn't it, right? We needed to take it up a notch, Crank it up to 11. So, he then turned around in his little, spinny office chair, called onto our other coworker and said, yo, dude, you might be interested in this. My coworker, busy in the middle of his really important work, took out his headphones, turned around and said, what is it? To which we told him the details of the deal, right? Oh, by the end of this year, I bet Echo wouldn't be able to lift a 35 kilo dumbbell, one curl. I bet he can't do it. If he can, $150. Our other friend said, you know what? I'm in on it as well. Double it. Boom. So that's $300. A potential $300 for doing one curl. It doesn't have to be a very smooth curl, mind you, just a curl of 35 kilos. That's like, you know what? Perfect. Awesome. Good. But, again, why stay at 11 when you can crank it up to 12? So crank it up to 12 we did. Another coworker passed by because we have an open office setup. Now, I'm not a big fan of the open office myself. Personally, I feel like sometimes there's a bit too much going on. You feel like you're overstimulated. You're listening to music while there's this background noise. So sometimes I feel like I either have to crank up my music or just turn down my music. So, the background noise, because the background noise sometimes is sufficient for me to be able to focus. And sometimes it's just like, people talk a lot if it's an open office, people passing by each other. Because the way where our desks are set up, it's sort of in the middle way where everyone passes through. Like, you have to pass through. So, like, there are two, like, you kind of have to pass through our area to get to the printer, to the office printer. There is the other way, but, like, our going in the middle, like, through us, is probably the shortest way to the printer. Anyways, one of our coworkers passed by, and my friend told him of the challenge. And he, too, agreed. He was like, you know what, Echo, I have faith in you. I think you can do it. I know he was probably, you know, just taking a piss, being a bit ironic about it. But I was like, you know what? That's all I needed to hear. So, boom, another 150. So. By the end of so the challenge is now, by the end of this year, I should be able to. Hold on, what is this? I'm just checking a few things. Yes. So by the end of this year, hold on, I'm trying to look at a few things. Okay, by the end of this year, I should be able to do a one curl, any arm, left or right, my choice, while standing up. I should be able to curl a 75 kilo, not 75, 35 kilo dumbbell. And if I win, 3 people will each pay me $150. If I lose, however, which is why I'm willing to take on this bet because it isn't much of a loss for me, I will have to pay them $50 each. So, not much of a loss for me. They think it's an easy $50 for them, and I'm convinced it's an easy $450 for me. That's $450. Who's gonna say no to $450 to lift some weights, right? So, hence, I am now involved in a long-term-ish challenge to lift 35 kilos. At this point, everyone in the office is sort of aware of it. So, I think the bet is restricted to the 3 people who were initially involved. But I wouldn't be surprised if the others are taking bets on the side, their own bets, you know. There's 2 sorts of people. They have 2 sorts of reaction when I tell people this. One is like, you're crazy, you're gonna rip your tendons off, that's impossible. And the others are saying, you know what? Just one curl? It's possible. You could possibly do it, right? I had another coworker who, this dude is a big guy. He's like 6'3" or 6'2" probably. The guy is muscular. The guy is built like a tank. He could be like an NRL player or something, you know, a rugby player. And then the max he could curl is 30 kilos, right? Because he feels like 35 is risky. However, I feel like if he could lift 30 kilos and I could lift 30 kilos, my buddy who challenged me to this, he's only like, 4 years older than me, and he could curl 30 kilos. If he could do it, I could do it. And totally, you know, the guy who lifts weights and pretends to be a janitor and, you know, the tricks the people like as some sort of prank, like, haha, you think I'm weak, but I'm not weak at all. The guy's only 24. The guy is 24. The guy is younger than me. And if a younger lad can do it, surely I, an older lad, an older man, can do it. You know? That's what I mean. So, yes, I have now started my gym arc again, just to prove a point. You know what? Personal health, screw that. Mental health, screw that. I'm going to the gym to prove a point, to engage in a challenge. Of course, I didn't go to the gym immediately. I went to the gym like, what do you call it? Like a few days later because, I was tired from work. I prefer going to the gym really early in the morning before work at like, let's say 4 a.m. probably, because there's like a lot less people. So I prefer waking up at like 3:30 and maybe being in the gym by 3:45 up to 4, or at 4 the latest, and up until who knows what time, just because there's going to be less people in the gym, which, I don't know, I feel like going to the gym, I can't help but feel like people are looking at me, which is a feeling I do not like. Now, again, I am aware it's all in the mind. I know for a fact that it's not real, and if people are staring, who gives a damn, right? However, the feeling of being stared at is hard to shake off, so that's kind of one of the reasons I don't want to go to the gym in the afternoon. Plus, there's the whole, because there's a lot of people, there's like a queue just to use a machine and what have you. So, yeah, it's that sort of thing which I kind of want to avoid. So, didn't go to the gym until, let's say, 4 days later. I actually talked to the trainer of the gym. I told her of when I first told her of what I plan to do, she was like, okay, but what are your goals really? And I told her, okay, like really my only goal is to be able to do this, and then the quickest way possible, or to at least get close to doing a curl of 35 kilos. And she said, I'll see what I can come up with. It should be somewhat possible, but chances are slim. I didn't listen to the latter part where it's kind of slim. All I focused on was her saying it's possible, should be somewhat. So that is all those are all the words I need to hear to start doing it. So I went to the gym a few days ago. I did a bit of a baseline test with her. Okay, so I sort of forgot how much I used to lift in the gym. I think, now that I think about it, I used to probably do curls of 5 kilos or 6 kilos max, or 7 maybe, on both arms. However, I forgot that that's how much I did. So I told the trainer that I could curl 12 kilos because at work, again, upon being challenged, I found the nearest weight I could, like the heaviest thing I could find in the office, which was 12 kilos, and did a few curls with that. So I was like, I could probably do 12. Bro. Curling 12 kilos, I could only do 5 in my right arm, 4 in my left arm, before I couldn't anymore. After doing 12.5, let's say 13, started curling, let's say 9 kilos. Those are a bit better. So, okay, let's say the 12 kilos I did 4 and 3. For this one I did 5 and 4, right arm, left arm, 5, 4. A bit better. Then went back to 10 and I did let's say 3 or 4, and then 3 in my left arm. So clearly, my limit is somewhere around 10 kilos or maybe even slightly less. Let's say 7 kilos. I think 7 kilos is what I eventually decided on, or 8 kilos. So, yeah. So, because of that, my arms were in pain for the next 2 days. It didn't hurt the day after. It hurt the day after. It didn't hurt the next day. It hurt the 2 days after me lifting the weights, I guess that's what you call delayed pain, muscle, something. I forgot the name of it, where it's hold on. It's called, why do I feel muscle pain 2 days after exercising? Okay. It's called delayed onset muscle soreness, yes. So I didn't feel it until 2 days later. And, when you lift weights and you can't really stretch your arm all the way through, that's pretty much me. I could not stretch my arm all the way through, both arms. And it hurt it hurt so much. And I still went to the gym anyway. I did some chest day training. The chest day isn't too bad. I do feel, oh my god, a bit of exercise-related soreness on not necessarily my chest, but let's say the intersection between my chest and my arm muscle. So hold on. Oh shit. Let's see. Anatomy chest muscle. So the program I have is only runs for, let's say, 3 or 4 times a week, because that's honestly realistic in my opinion. I cannot say I can commit to doing 5 days of workout in a week. Anyways, it's this part. As you can see right here. I'm not sure if my mouse is visible. Okay, now it is. It's this part that sort of hurts. I'm not sure what this muscle is called, but it feels it feels like it's this muscle that hurts when I rotate my arm and and if I reach up or reach down, this part, it's this part that hurts the most. I don't know what this muscle is called, but yes, it's that part that hurts right now. Not too badly, I can still reasonably function, and I feel like after having slept, my arms have recovered because I can actually stretch my arms now. So yeah. So again, I have begun my gym going arc, my muscle building arc. By the end of this, I'm gonna be ripped as fuck. Okay, my only concern is I don't want to be too big a guy when it comes to muscle, because it's it just looks strange if you're now. Okay, allegedly, not saying it's real. Allegedly, my flesh suit is what, 5'8"? So allegedly, it's technically 5'8.5" inches, but I'm gonna be humble and say 5'8". So a 5'8", let's say, flesh suit. That's probably let's say that weighs what 200 kilograms with just the muscle. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I don't know, it just doesn't. I feel like it's a strange look. I find it strange on me if I were to equip such a flesh suit, you know, of 5'8", while being really built with muscle. I feel like I'd look like an inflated balloon, you know what I mean? And it feels like such a build would make the flesh suit look shorter, which is not my goal or intention at all. So I'll have to balance my exercise with other forms of exercise, mainly I guess the abs, the back, and the legs, and the shoulders. Okay, I'll say probably the shoulder, legs, and abs, right? I'll probably have to focus on those muscle groups as well, which, you know, if you have 7 days in a week, while I do arms for 3 days, I guess I could focus on 2 muscle groups in a day, maybe arms and then abs and arms and legs, whatever. But anyways, in the days that I'm not doing arms, I could literally just focus on any other muscle group. So, yeah. Will I be consistent with this? Well, I better be, because my coworkers are never going to let this down if I fail. They did give me an opportunity to just surrender, but that would involve me having to apologize to each person individually that I made a bet with, so 3 people, and I was like, you know what? I'd rather rip a tendon, metaphorically, than apologize. So now I'm committed to this, right? And, well, here's where things kind of go. I feel like things are getting somewhat out of hand, right? As word of this whole challenge spread out, it eventually reached another coworker of ours who I mentioned was built like an NRL player. So, upon hearing this challenge, he was telling me, it's impossible, I'm afraid you're gonna rip your tendons. Well, to gauge your strength, let's do a bit of an arm wrestling challenge. So we did an arm wrestling challenge. Again, all captured on camera. Not sure if I will ever share that, because, you know, I want to maintain my anonymity and maintain the people's anonymity. Anyways, had a bit of an arm wrestling challenge with him. Again, this guy, he could probably, if he were to put his hands around my neck and lift me, he probably could do that and then slam me to the ground, right? He's a big dude. Anyways, we did an arm wrestling challenge, caught on video. Needless to say, I did not win that challenge, which was expected, but funny anyways, right? So, because of that, well, we were having fun. Honestly, it was probably one of the... it was really fun day in the office that. Again, we were just getting involved in a lot of shenanigans and tomfoolery, right? Anyways, I think... Okay, so my boss, for context, my boss is probably twice and a bit more older than me. So, again, he was getting involved and having fun with us as well. And being an older gentleman, you know, amongst his subordinates, which are like between, let's say, their mid-20s to early 30s, you know, there's a bit of that's quite a generational gap, right? The guy is technically probably old enough to be my dad, probably older than my dad a bit. So, anyways, I guess he found it fun, he found it pretty interesting to be, you know, to be involved, and he was kind of glad to see us having fun. Like, there's no doubt he enjoyed seeing us have fun. Anyways, because of that arm wrestling challenge thing, eventually a few days later, the guy who I was talking about, the NRL, a guy built like an NRL player. Anyways, he got to talking about it with a gym buddy of his, and, you know, had this bright idea of what if she challenged me to arm wrestling. Now, mind you, she is a competitive bodybuilder. You know, it'll be funny, I guess, if we both get involved in it, because she is actually built, like, well built. She is ripped AF, from what I've seen. So, you know, this is gonna be a funny little thing. But, you know, ever since that sort of thing been arranged, because we work different shifts, I think she's night shift, or no, she's day shift, but, like, because our team, we rock up to the office, like, earlier, just so we could leave earlier, you know what I mean? So long as we clock in the necessary amount of hours for our shift. So it was really hard for us to just meet up and do the arm wrestling thing. Anyways, my boss, for some reason, was weirdly fixated on me arm wrestling her for just the entire week, to the point that it got kind of cringe. Like, I can sort of, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm assuming it's kind of like, you know, when your parents kind of get really excited or for you being involved in something. They're like, oh, you know, my son is doing this, my son is doing that. Oh, don't worry. Look, and then they'll give you constant updates about this sort of thing. But the more you, but you know, as a young child, the more you hear about it, the more you cringe and kind of get embarrassed and kind of don't want to do it anymore. So that's kind of what's been happening for the entire week. At one point, I and my two other coworkers and friends, like, we were just kind of sick about hearing the arm wrestling challenge. Anyways, as that was happening, another arm wrestling thing happened. So, like, I ended up, again, arm wrestling 3 people throughout the week. Well, 2, and there was 1 still to happen. Another co-workers of ours, again, because we got to chatting about the arm wrestling challenge, and at this point, we still weren't too sick about hearing about the arm wrestling challenge. Anyways, as this other co-workers of ours was passing by, again, because we were in an open office, the NRL build guy told her, hey, we'll want to participate in a bit of a challenge. So we told her a bit of context about, you know, how, you know, the initial challenge of the lifting, of the curling 35 kilos, and how we eventually gave her the whole spiel of how it happened, how we got here. And when we got to the end, boom, we had an arm wrestling challenge. Surprisingly, it was actually, I thought I was going to lose, but it was actually an even match. Both of us were evenly matched in strength, right? Now, I think it's because, I guess we were probably of a similar build. Weight-wise, I was only like 6 kilos more than her. I was like 67, and she was like 61 kilos. And we were very similar build-wise. Like, we were both, like, not too muscular, just skinny-ish. Mind you, she was a bit more she did engage in a lot more physical activities than me. I believe she fossics in the in her free time. It's called fossicking, which I guess it's kind of like I don't know, looking for gemstones. In Australia, New Zealand, or Cornwall, fossicking is prospecting, especially when carried out as a recreational activity. Yeah, so prospecting, looking for, like, I don't know, I guess prospecting for gold or loose or like gems or precious stones or whatever. So I would say. So that involves going out and a bit more. It's more physically taxing than, let's say, just streaming. So I would say she's probably more physically fit than I am. Anyways, we were evenly matched, surprisingly, when we were doing that arm wrestling thing. Again, to both of our surprise, and both of us, you know, we don't really know the proper technique for arm wrestling. So So next week, when we meet up again on Saturday in the office, we are going to engage in a friendly match to see who wins. Now, the plan is for me to learn the techniques of arm wrestling and eventually to do it, you know, and to practice with someone, but I'll only be able to practice really the one day, maybe on Friday, because then Saturday, Sunday, I'll be away for a concert. So, we'll see. Will I lose? I don't know. Well, I mean, depends. If she has time to practice proper technique, then she'll win. If it makes enough of a difference, you know? But we shall see. We will see. So yes, that was pretty much a brief summary of the past week, which is essentially me getting involved in a bunch of silly shenanigans to make life and the workplace just a bit more interesting in general. So yeah, I shall return. I shall just grab myself something to drink or whatever. So I shall be back shortly. Where is my waiting screen? Where is it? Be right back. Okay, so I shall be right back. Oh wait. Okay, hold on. BRB. Bye. Hello, hello. I'm back. Hello. How's it going again? It is I. I'm back. Yeah. So, man, I should really be cleaning my aircon soon. Not sure when was the last time it was cleaned? Because apparently you're supposed to have it cleaned every year or something. And I've been living with my roommates since 2022, so nearly 3 years. And wow, man, that's been long. That's quite a while. Anyways, so since 2022, and I can't say my aircon has been cleaned recently, so we do have to get it cleaned. I have two options. We have two options, really. One is to pay a guy to clean it for us. It's like $70 per unit, so $70 per unit per aircon that's cleaned. We've got like, what, 3 or probably 4 or 5? So wait, hold on. So there's mine, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Probably 5 or 6 aircons to clean. And since, you know, since I live with them, we're all living together, I don't mind it's the least I could do is to chip in to get the AC cleaned, you know what I mean? Or I wouldn't even mind paying for the entire aircon cleaning because my buddy who's, you know, leasing me the room that I'm currently staying in that I've been staying in for the past 3 years is kind enough to, you know, give me a more than reasonable rent. Right, it's actually really, really cheap rent he offers me. So the least I could do, after all these years of, you know, kindness and hospitality, is to pay for aircons getting cleaned. However, I'm more interested in learning how to clean the AC myself, since, yeah, it's gonna be fun. You know, it's one of those things that I would want to learn how to do just to understand the process itself. Maybe do it a few times and then boom. Never do it again in my life. I'm kidding. I'll probably keep doing it. It's just one of those, I don't know, I do like learning a bunch of random things and or skills. It's just fun, you know? And the more you learn about this sort of things, I guess the more independent you become. And eventually, if, let's say, hypothetically, the impossible dream of becoming a homeowner becomes a reality, then surely it'll be cool if I were able to just clean my own air conditioning unit. So, you know, hopefully one day so I'll be able to do that, but for now, I'll just stick to learning to clean my own aircon, which I don't think I'll have time for in the weekend because of, you know, again, the weekend I'm going to be away to watch a concert, and I only really have today and tomorrow to stream and do a bunch of other stuff. I still have to do some last minute packing before I go to the concert and what have you. So, yeah. And there's so many things I want to be doing, but, you know, it's just, it's finding the time to engage in all the hobbies I want to engage in. Like, I've been thinking about doing some astrophotography during the holidays, just because, you know, it started off with me finally using the old family camera that I had, and after doing that a few times and seeing a bunch of old cameras from this vintage store that we were at, I just became really interested in possibly pursuing astrophotography. And then, you know, because I liked a few photography photos in TikTok and Instagram, I've been getting more posts regarding that. But yeah, I feel like astrophotography is cool and I feel like something I could really get into, simply because, I don't know, like humans, like people as a subject, it's not as interesting as like taking pictures of the stars. It depends, right? I think the street photography style photography, where, you know, it's candid shots, where it's unexpected, where the people aren't deliberately posing for your photo. I think those are fun, and I'd rather take those sort of photos because, I don't know, it not that it feels less fake, but you're truly capturing the moment. You know, you're truly capturing a slice of life compared to if people just pose. But it depends, right? If, let's say, you bring a you're having fun with friends and you just pull out your digital camera and take photos, I feel like even if people deliberately pose there, you know, smile or do a peace sign, it's still capturing that moment of you guys having fun. I guess the sort of photos I'm not a big fan of is those professional portrait sort of photos or wedding photos, you know, that sort of deal. Because to me, it's just, yeah, you're posing deliberately to look good. You're not necessarily just capturing a raw moment in time. You know, you're not capturing a slice of life, a slice of time. And I'm pretty much I am much more interested in slice of life. So yeah, when I've been thinking about getting into astrophotography, I wanted to take my dad's DSLR with me back home, but I thought, you know, maybe one of my siblings, I know there's sort of similar to me where they have this sort of fascination with older things. I think, I don't know if I'm more interested than they are. Well, it seems like it because I'm more willing to buy like older stuff, but let's just say that we all have an equal fascination with older things or the things from our childhood and stuff. So I just thought, you know, I mean, a DSLR, it's like a 10-year-old DSLR. Who knows? Maybe one of my siblings may pick it up as a hobby. Maybe they may become interested. So I just thought, you know what? I'm just gonna leave it at home. So yeah, just too many hobbies to want to be engaged and not enough time and stuff for everything. Because like, I guess my main focus for this, I don't know, for the next few months is one, I'll have to be learning a lot of Japanese because my friends and I have been talking about doing that Japan trip. So, because, you know, I guess every guy now in their early to mid-20s just have to do a Japan trip. It's a canon event, I guess. But yeah, we've been talking about it a bit more. And the more we talk about it, the more it feels like it has to happen. And so, yeah, I want to pretty much just focus on learning as much Japanese as they can in that span of time. I think I'm pretty much going to be the designated communicator and or translator. I think it's just a given that I'll be the designated translator amongst my friends and I. Not that I don't know any Japanese, but because I guess compared to the most of us, I have the most experience when it comes to language learning since I do have it as a hobby. So yeah, I'm the designated translator for the group. I do have to relearn a lot of Japanese I studied a year ago because I've forgotten it, especially the kanji. With the kanji, I'm not sure how I'm going to go about it. I'll probably not focus so much on writing it. I think writing the kanji helps me remember the kanji and its meanings. But honestly, I could probably do a mix of both, where I'm learning how to write, but with just flashcards, just knowing what they mean. And probably learn a few sample sentences just so I could know how to actually read them kanjis and stuff. Like the kanji for, I guess the most common kanji, like the kanji for the hour, when I'm talking about the hour, or colors, if I'm saying, oh, can I buy this blue one instead of the red one? That sort of thing. So I just need to learn the common ones. Maybe learn how to read. I feel like learning how to read road signs will be the most beneficial. I highly doubt we're going to rent a car, but should we choose to rent a car, it'll be good if we know if we can read road signs and stuff. And of the three of us that really want to go, so there's potential for there to be more than three of us, but for the three of us who are sure to go, only two of us could drive. So, and it's a good thing we both are driving in the same, you know, we know how we both drive on the left side of the road, just like Japan. So yeah, both of us will have to be the drivers. But if you were to drive, we need to know how to read road signs. You know what I mean? We don't want to accidentally break the law in a foreign country. That's scary AF. So yeah, so that will take up a lot of my time, that hobby. I do enjoy, again, touching a bit of grass. So I'm going to continue doing a lot more hiking once, you know, probably, so I'll continue to take Fridays off to do some, I don't know, outdoor activities like fishing or camping or hiking. I haven't camped yet, but maybe one day. And then besides that, and yeah, the gym. So literally those are the two things that will occupy a lot of my free time. Besides streaming, of course, it'll be just, yeah, going to the gym and just learning some Japanese, which reminds me, I should probably come up with that's one of the things I wanted to do later. Just make a language learning routine just to get to the gist of it. I'll probably have to be studying, well, more than I am right now, which is nearly 0. It'll be a good way to spend the time anyway, instead of just, you know, being stuck in my phone doom scrolling and waste several hours doing that. It'll be better, more productive. It's what I did with Spanish, like back in 2014 or 2015, I think, when I just didn't want to be watching YouTube videos the whole time, so I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna whatchamacallit, I'm gonna start learning some Spanish, and that's how I began, or that's how I ended up learning, or that's how I ended up picking up Spanish as learning Spanish as a hobby. So yeah, those are the things that'll get to take up most of my time. In terms of streaming, man, okay. So over the 5 weeks that have been gone, there's been a lot of games that have been coming out and stuff. And honestly, I feel like I really did need that in hindsight, those 5 weeks of, or let's say it's technically just 4 weeks of vacation. Was it 4 weeks? How long have I been gone for, chat? Hold on, let me calculate. So I've been gone from the 24th of April, really. That's when my vacation started. So, and I got back. So that's like, so I'll count 24th as the first day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 7. That's 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, so I was only gone for 18 days, really. So it's not even, it's a little more than, less than 3 weeks. Yeah, so the 18 days I've been gone, plus the 7 I was at work. I guess, like, I don't know, it felt like it was good having 18 days off. You know, it feels like I've reset my brain and stuff, because I noticed myself being a bit more chatty and just more me when it comes to work. Because, you know, I guess historically for the past 5 years, whenever I'm at work, I try to you know, be what I try to act normal-ish or really professional. You know, I do my best to avoid being silly. However, I know when I was back at work, I was just like, I didn't give a fuck. I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna have fun, enjoy my time at work while still working. Now, mind you, I may have had more fun than doing work, but you know, still, it wasn't a busy time at work, so I think it was fine. But yeah, I think that those 18 days was just enough for me to really just reset my brain. I guess being with family for 18 days, it was like I could relax a bit, you know? I didn't have to be too much of a grown-up anymore. Something like the food will just sometimes be there or something, you know? I didn't have to try, you know, it was just like relaxing, you know? It was just, I could be a kid again, not really think about responsibilities too much, yada yada. I didn't have to think about making my own food and blah blah blah. I was just literally a kid in my parents' home again. Oh, hello, you should try Roblox. Oh, I've actually been thinking about that. Hold on, I can see your chat, but it's not showing up in the main screen, so let me fix that. Give me a second. Techness? While I fix this. How's it going, by the way? Good morning and or afternoon. I don't know what time it is in you. Is it in your end? But yeah, oh, I forgot to set my restream bot. No, it's not gonna work. That's fine. I may just do a bit of a. I hope they've in the 18 days I've been gone, Restream had fixed it, so I could just change which stream I'm doing. Yeah, that's the thing with this. God damn it. Let's do this. Damn it, I can't. Okay, with the thing with Restream, if I can't just back then I could like. Oh, I could literally just what do you call it? Switch which stream I'm doing on the YouTube side of things, and it'll work. But now not anymore. Let me just do this then. There. Boom, and I'll do. What is this? I don't know what chat this is. Okay, I'm just gonna do a bit of both. There you go. It's gonna be a bit of mix. Anyways, hello. Should try Roblox something like Everest, mountain climbing, or Spelling Bee. I actually have thought of playing Roblox. Because Roblox ain't too bad of a game. It's actually, you know, it's pretty fun. Hold on. This is weird looking. Let me just shrink some of my windows a bit. There. Okay, cool. Yeah, because I was playing it with my little brother while I was, you know, having my holiday and stuff. And I actually had fun. My little brother is obsessed with Squid Game. I think it's because he might have played a Squid Game-esque game in Roblox, and so he started watching the show because of that. Anyways, I've been playing, you know, some Squid Game Roblox, and the Roblox equivalent of parkour, which is called Ooblox or something, or I forgot the name of it, but it starts with an O, like Ooblox or Obox or something. I do remember playing, whatchamacallit, a bunch of horror-themed games with my brother in Roblox, and there was this pizza game where, you know, you served a bunch of customers while cooking pizza. That was actually my favorite. That was really fun. So I've been thinking about it, but I just, you know, I need to look up which sort of game to play. Maybe the Everest Mountain or climbing or spelling bee sort of thing. I'll have to look into it, see if it's fun. And the good thing about Roblox is it's free. So, you know, it doesn't cost money to play Roblox, except, I guess, when you engage in microtransactions and buy yourself them skins, so you don't have the default bacon here. But, yeah, maybe one day, if I am in the mood for it, if I feel like, you know what, I don't know what to play, might as well just play Roblox. We'll have to add that to the list of games to play. I do have a sticky note right here, virtual sticky notes. I'm just going to add that. I'm going to add a thing saying notes from stream. Roblox? Question mark? Everest Mountain climbing spelling bee? So, hold on, let me oop. Question mark. Oop, that's not it. Oop. Oop. Cool. How have you been anyway, Technus? It's been a while. How have you been doing? How are you? Roblox games are nice to play with friends. Yeah, they were proper fun. Oh, question of the day. How much time do you reckon you need, you know, to work out and whatever, engage in exercise, to be able to lift 35 kilos as a curl? A dumbbell, you know, to be able to do one curl of 35 kilograms. I have 7 months to do it as a challenge. I'm curious what you think, how long it would, you think it would take you. Anyways, yeah, I've been thinking about other games as well to play, since a lot came out this weekend. One of the things that, okay, Oblivion, I actually bought Oblivion before I went on holiday, so I really want to play Oblivion. So during this week, I don't know what I wanted to stream. The Just Chatting one, I knew I had to do. Claire Obscure, I'll get to that later. I knew I wanted to play that. But the third day, I didn't really know what I wanted to play. I had a few games in mind, but the other games that I had in mind were more like, oh, I only want to play it because, one, I might as well make some progress in it, given, you know, I won't be able to stream much this week, so I might as well do some progress in it while I can before I leave on the weekend again. And sometimes, and the other games, it was just like curiosity of the game, but not necessarily because I think, it's not because I really want to play it. It's more just, it was more like, oh, I've always been curious about this game, I might as well try it. So I was like, fuck it, you know what, I'm going to play Oblivion this weekend. So yeah, hence we're going to be playing Oblivion as my third stream for the week. I'm going to be playing Oblivion. I've never played Oblivion. I've only ever played Skyrim as an Elder Scrolls game. I've never played Oblivion, but I know some people prefer Oblivion as an RPG compared to Skyrim, but it still has the same jankiness of a Bethesda game, you know, as you would expect. So yeah, 1 year, I guess. I'm not into workouts, so that would be a challenge. True. So easy. That's what I was trying to tell my friends as well. Like, maybe we should just postpone it to a year, but they were like, nah, 7 months, that's it. And I didn't want to back down from the challenge, so I just committed to yes. You know what? Okay, we'll do 7 months to, I'll commit to 7 months to the challenge. I'm still trying to bargain with them to perhaps lower the weight, the stakes, from 35 to 30, which is more reasonable, and I'm less likely to rip my tendons apart, to tear my tendons. Additionally, in exchange, the prize money will be lowered from $150 to, let's say, maybe $100 at least, or to $75 at most. You know, so the 3 people who have to pay me for winning will just have to pay me $75 each. So that's what I'm trying to bargain. It hasn't worked yet, so I'm gonna try over the next few weeks to see if I can bargain my way down. You know, just to have a, let's say, more realistic goal. That is not to say I cannot lift 35 kilos. I believe I can. I think with enough faith in myself, I could probably do it and work out. Maybe steroids, but I will not go as far as that. Though, technically, we never ruled it out in the challenge, nor did we ever rule out the use of some sort of mechanical exoskeleton, but just for the arm sort of device, which would be fun to build, just so I could do it. But anyways, so yeah. So Oblivion is one of the games we are streaming this week. The other games I've been wanting to play is, okay, there's Claire Obscure 33. Now, I know it's a turn-based... Now go for 35? Well, okay. Fine. You know what? Who am I to back out from a challenge? I'll still try to bargain for 30, but you know what? 35 will be boom. You know what they say? Aim for the stars and you land on the moon anyway. So, yeah. I feel like losing will be somewhat inevitable. Okay, I'm only gonna say this once. Maybe losing is inevitable. But. It's not about the destination. Literally, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. It's about me, going to the gym, starting my gym arc. It's about getting everyone involved. Everyone seems to be having fun with this idea of our little challenge, Like, even people who are outside the bet seem to be having fun with the idea of their, they enjoy hearing us talk about it. It's like, I don't know, I guess because, to me, this is how I'm interpreting the situation. I guess it's because, this bet that we had, it's between me and three other people, two of which are roughly around my age, so between mid-20s to 30 in age. So we are amongst the youngest in the office. So I guess it's just, watching a bunch of kids have fun. I guess that's the POV of everyone else. But yeah, so I guess that's what I'll be aiming for. But yeah, Claire Obscure 33, I've heard nothing but good things about it. I haven't seen any gameplay about it. I know it is a turn-based strategy game, and I've seen some comments online saying, oh, this is something that Atlas or Square Enix should be thriving for, something like this. This is the true turn-based JRPG experience, blah, blah, blah. So, because of that, I'm curious. Plus, the game is apparently takes place in France or something, or it's very French. So, I actually do want to play it with the French voice acting instead of the English VA, just because I feel like it's going to be more immersive. You know what I mean? Finally, the French language will be cooler again because of the game. And I did hear, I think, the theme song, the OST, like the music when you're in the main menu. It's pretty good. I feel like it's just playing the game will be the motivation that I need the game will be what I need to motivate me into actually, for real, start learning French. Because I've thought about learning French for a while, just because I like how it sounds. So I kind of want to learn it. And I feel like since I already have some experience learning another Romance language, it should be easier to learn French as well. So I've been thinking about it. So, Claire Obscure 33 might just be what I need. I once started walking randomly through the city 2 hours later and realized I could have just taken a bus. Maybe more than the destination or journey is the method you choose. It's the method you choose to do it. Yeah, that's exactly what I mean with the 35 kilos thing. It's about the journey. It's going to be a fun and funny journey. I am taking a video. I'm sort of documenting it, taking a video of me just talking about it or me actually lifting the weights. It's like when I did those arm wrestling challenges, I had videos of me doing that. And again, I'm using my old camera from 2005 that uses 8mm cassette tapes. So again, it's giving that home video nostalgia vibe. I know in like 2 years from now, or even a year from now, when I look back in this videos, it's like, it's gonna be funny, and it's gonna be nice, to look back and watch all those videos and stuff. So yeah, it is about the journey in this case, not necessarily the destination. And look, at least I'm only losing $150, and that's like 7 months from now, so I could really set money aside. It's not like I'm losing $450. But yeah, so yeah, Claire Obscure 33 or Obscure Claire 33. I think it's Claire Obscure 33. I'll be playing that tomorrow or later tonight. I actually forgot, what is my stream schedule. I'll be playing that tonight. Tonight on my end, I guess. I don't know what time it will be in GMT, but yeah, that'll be really, really fun. I look forward to it. I know very little of the game, but I feel like I want to play it. Again, I feel like one of the things, like, I do enjoy streaming still, but before I went on holiday, I feel like it was no longer as exciting as it once was. I guess it was feeling sort of stale. I guess it's because I got into a fixed routine of what games I'm playing, and I know they say having a fixed schedule, having a routine is good, because, people are creatures of habit or whatever, but I get bored easily of routine, which is why I tend to reinvent the wheel. I tend to reinvent routines again and again and again. Because it's just like, I need the novelty to be engaged in what I do. Novelty is one of the positive things that motivate me. The other things that motivate me are more negative things, such as, the urgency. If you're, if it feels like you have a deadline, something's due in an hour, then bro, I could focus and just do and punch, and do as much as I can, because again, deadlines help clarify the mind. So, but it's not good to be relying on deadlines or stress to be able to do things. So novelty and, is something that helps motivate me to do things. Because doing things by discipline alone is hard. I once shared an apartment with a French guy. It took me 3 weeks to understand his accent. I do like the sound of the French accent. I don't know why. I mean, honestly, I do like hearing other accents in general. I think each accent is charming, but I do really like the French accent. I don't know what about it, but it just sounds nice. I guess it's the way they say, the French say the letter R. It's a bit more throaty, the R. It's like a l'espoir, or it's like the R sound. It's really fun and nice to hear too. Gotta go see you. See ya, Technus. It's thanks for stopping by. Good chatting with you. Thanks for your recommendations. I hope you have a good rest of your day or night. But yeah, so that is my main motivation for playing Clear Obscure 33. But yeah, it's just I guess it's just because I do the same thing sort of every week in stream. There was nothing new or necessarily too challenging that I'm doing, that I kind of got it's okay. It was I was doing it as something to do, not necessarily because I'm really hyped up or pumped up for it or stoked to do it. So, I may break routine here. I'll be, just for a bit at least, play a few games that are outside the usual games I play. For example, probably, yeah, the games I'm planning on playing soon are, for example, Clear Obscure 33 instead of Final Fantasy 7. Though I'm still committed to finishing Final Fantasy 7. I want to play Blueprints. It seems interesting. It's a puzzle-based roguelike, and I do like puzzles, so that's going to be fun. And Outer Wilds. I've been thinking about Outer Wilds for the past 2 or 3, nearly 3 weeks at this point. I've been learning it at the guitar. I've been learning how to play the Traveler's theme. It goes dong 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 dong. I've been learning how to play that on the guitar. It's not that hard of a song, but because I've been practicing multiple days in a row when I was during my holidays, I kind of want to play the game now. I heard it's very interesting. I heard it's a very good game, and when the TikToks I saw about it, they all described the game as being very life-changing, or it's a lot of people's favorite game. Hence, I want to play it as well. So, yeah. Outer Wilds, Blueprints, Oblivion, Clear Obscure 33 are some of the games I plan on playing. So yeah, I'm gonna stick to... I feel like I should be more willing to drop games that, I may have started it, but, I don't have to finish a game if I don't find any exuberant levels of joy in it, I guess, let's say. It's okay, Undertale, I really enjoyed playing Undertale. Undertale Yellow, I played it for, twice or thrice, and then I haven't really played it since. But, it's fine. I don't feel this... how to say, this urge. I do not feel this great need to actually pick it up again. So, I've just put it on hold, or it's just there in the top shelf waiting to be played again one day. So that's what I'll probably go more off of vibes with certain games. And if I feel like playing a certain game, I'll play that certain game. If I don't feel like playing it, then I won't play it, Like Silent Hill, I like the game, but I'll probably put it on hold and play a bunch of other short horror games for now, a bunch of chill as art sort of games, just because I feel like I'll have more fun with those. It's a bit more, it's short duration of a game. It's gonna be a short commitment. I can get it done and dusted. Boom, I get an immediate reward for finishing the game instead of being there for the long burn. Then I'll probably go back to the long burn game for a bit before I feel, you know, like, no, I want to feel like playing something else again, and then I play it. So that's probably how it's going to be from now on. I don't know if it's still worth, I don't know if it's still worth doing, like, you know how, like, last time I had a forecast of games I want to play over the next few weeks. Not sure if it's still worth doing, given the nature of how often I change my mind and stuff. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. Okay, hold on. Speaking of, I want to try playing it in the guitar right now. I wonder if it's going to be picked up by the mic. It's the Traveler's theme that I was, that I learned from from Outer Wilds. So let me just pause this. I don't know if it's gonna be picked up by my mic. Hopefully, I'm not sure if it will. Hold on. Oh, give me a second. Boop. Oh, I don't think it's being heard. So let me. Oh, I've had to readjust my mic a bit. Okay, cool. Okay, it is being heard. All right, let me try to play the song. Okay, I've got to remove my headphones, otherwise the echo, because, you know, listening to myself will mess with my brain. Give me a second. So it's like, how do I play this? It's like, okay, let's go. Okay, that was it. Like, again, it was a really, really simple song. And I still, you know, I'm still not perfect at it. Mind you, I don't like playing my guitar often. Just, you know, a few minutes a day and what have you. So, yeah, I'm gonna play the music again. Cool. Oh, this is really small, the window. Okay, So yeah, that was the song, The Traveler. I think it's called The Traveler's Theme from Outer Wilds. So I do really want to play it, so I'll be playing that. Probably, so I'll return to my regular streaming schedule around, I had to look at it last time, so I'll be back probably starting from the, let's say, maybe 5th of June. I should be somewhat back to my regular, to what I regularly do, and then I'll take a week off from streaming around July, and then I'll, you know, it's all gung-ho from there. It's all straightforward. We're back to our regular streaming schedule. My streaming schedule should be changed. It should return to its original form pre-April 2025 because of, a few changes happening in the background, so I should be able to just, like, I think recently I was able to squeeze a few streams on Wednesday simply because of the timing of things. Hopefully I can still do it when things go back to normal. However, I doubt it, so I'm just gonna commit to like a Thursday, Saturday, Sunday stream, maybe a Monday stream as well. Monday my time, of course, just because those days are somewhat free. So yeah, those are the games I've been thinking about, and streaming wise, that's what I've been thinking about. I do have a few games that I want to. There are a few other games that I want to check out. I'm just gonna pull up the YouTube tab for it. And let me see. I'm gonna get the link for each. There's a few games that I've added to. I've started making I made a playlist on YouTube and TikTok, and have a collection in, I guess, TikTok and Instagram of like games that I want to play and check out. So, hello, hey Marco, hey man, how's it going? Hello, I hope everyone's doing good. Hello, man. I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing? Good morning to you. I feel like it's morning for you. If I remember your time zone correctly. Oh no, it should be pretty late for you, is it not? Because, yeah, if it's... Okay. Oh, it's pretty late or early for you, right? If I'm interpreting if I remember correctly. It depends, I guess, if you've just woken up or have not fallen asleep yet. But hello. How's it going, Marco? It's been a while. Hope it's been well. The past 18 and more days. It's been since, more than 18 days since it's almost midnight. Oh, okay, it's almost midnight. Okay. Nice. Okay. How's your day? Hope you've been had a good day so far. How was I shall now engage. What do people that ask about? How's the weather? How's work? Hope everything has been pretty good. Right now, I'm just looking for this playlist I compiled of games I want to check out. So, a second. I'm just sweet. Let's see. Boop. How do I do this? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna play it straight from my browser. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna minimize my screen, and I'm gonna minimize this. Boom. So I'm only capturing one thing, and then where is my? Give me a second while I faff about trying to choose which window to choose. Is it this one? I want to choose this one and do... Oh, it is there. My window is there. Give me a second. How is it working? What? Is it this? No, that's not it. Wait, which window is this? Okay, you can see the window in my screen, right? Okay, now that I just need to determine which window this is, because I do not know which window this is. Give me a second. Is it the temp browser? It's not that. It's something. It's some other window. What window? Oh, it's this window. Okay, it's already there. Okay, got it. Nice. Sweet. Cool. Do another list? Yes, I know. Name a more name something more. Name a more iconic duo. Me and making lists and never utilizing those lists. The amount of playlists I've ever made in my life that I've never actually gone back to is insane. Anyways, so this is one of the first games I wanted to wait. Hopefully the sound goes through. Okay, the sound is going through, but it's just quiet. Okay, hold on. Whoop. So that's one of the games I want to check out. It's like an analog horror sort of thing. Again, pretty cool. I don't know when I'll play it, but I am curious about it. Curious enough to dedicate an actual stream for it, just to check it out as we unite. And okay, I think what sold me in the game is this vintage. This retro vibe. I shouldn't say vintage. Right? This retro-looking vibe. Is the trailer? Yes. I know nothing about the game, except that it's some sort of... It deals with a nuclear apocalypse sort of thing. I guess it's more an existential horror in that regard. But yeah. I do want to check it out. Again, it's the retro vibes that I'm really digging. I think I've started really engaging more with that, with my interest in older things. Hence me buying a bunch of cassette tapes and blah, blah, blah. Oh, I'll show pictures from my travel later. Do remind me of that. Because I keep talking about, my cassette tapes a lot and a bunch of older stuff a lot. So, yeah. As we unite, wish list now. So it's still, I guess, in development. So I'm going to be waiting for that to come out. So that's one of the first games I intend on playing. This is the second one. Okay, so I'm digging the vibes. I do really like, the PS1 sort of graphics, the low polygon count sort of aesthetic. Again, and this game, the trailer at least has it, so that's already got me hooked. Second, snowy environment. I do love snowy environments in games. Boom, that's another reason for me to be interested in this. And it features a K-Truck. Boom, third reason. And fourth reason, it has an Animal Crossing-esque looking character. Again, it makes it interesting. And there's something about it, I just love it. Yesterday I finished Call of Cthulhu. Oh, it's a great game for streams. I highly recommend it. Ooh, yes, I think I may have that in my wish list on Steam because I was watching a streamer ages ago play it, and I was like, oh, you know what? I actually do like the, whatchamacallit, the not the Lovecraft. I do love Lovecraftian horror, or at least I like the concept of it, of eldritch beings that that are incomprehensible to the human mind, sort of thing. It's just something about that really just has me interested. It really appeals to me for some reason. So this game is like a delivery sort of game, but like I do love the atmosphere. Yes. Love the Cthulhu-esque games and this sort of game as well. Like this game, I love the atmosphere. I don't even know what it's about. I don't know if it's a horror game or whatever, but I just like, look at that. It's just, I guess it hits close to home of just like the games I sort of played when I was a kid. Sort of, you know what I mean? Oh, tell me if its volume is too loud. Hopefully it isn't. So yeah, I'm keen on checking this game out, just because it seems like it's good fun. Not too serious, but it's good fun. You know what I mean? Woo! And it features a K-drum. Who doesn't love a K-drum? If only I were richer. If only I were rich. Sorry, I'm not even rich in general. I'd buy myself a K-drum. Silent Hill vibes? Yes, exactly. Foggy, almost remote-looking place in the middle of night and darkness, with a lot of like fog. It's giving Silent Hill, though it's not giving the horror aspect of it. It's giving the environmental aspect of it. Easy delivery code. Wish list now. A lot of the games seem to be in a wish list of sort. So yeah. Next game is this game looks interesting. The next game aesthetically looks very interesting. And it looks like a very fast-paced, high-reward game, or instant gratification game sort of thing. Especially, yeah, look at that. Just how fast things are going. I was gonna say it's like Sonic, where I guess it's just you just gotta be fast. And I do like it. Just because it's like, it's upbeat music, upbeat game, fast rhythm. Like, yeah. I can keep up with that. And aesthetically, sort of pleasing. And again, it sort of reminds me of I don't know, an older PS2, PS3 maybe platformer. You know what I mean? Fuck yeah. I don't know what the game's about, but I'm down to play this eventually. Ooh, look, it's kind of there's a dialogue similar to the style of like not Hellcaper, Hades, and other such games. Haste. Coming soon as well, I think. Probably. Never mind. It's out now on Steam. I did not even realize that. I should put that in my what's this? I should put it on my wish list. Hold on, I'm gonna put that as a task after the stream. Haste, add to wish list. Oh, this one I was just a fan of the art style. I am a sucker for good art style. It's good art style and music. It really gets me interested in games. I like it. Look at the art style. So I'm assuming it's like it reminds me of Alice in Wonderland, I guess. So I guess it's a take on. Oh yeah, it is literally that Alice in a weird surreal world. But I guess with a horror twist. How do you know about these games? My YouTube algorithm. It's literally just that. I started seeing a few games that are like, I guess, indie games. Checked out a trailer, liked it, and added it to the list. And then since I did that for one game, YouTube started recommending me more games. So the YouTube algorithm is good that way. When you engage with one sort of content, you'll start getting more of that type of content. I always notice it, right? Because I've got of course, like any other person, I've got different interests. If I start engaging with one of my interests in YouTube, I'll get more videos of that, right? If I engage with another one, I'll get more videos of that, right? Like if I start watching more videos on I don't know, grammar or linguistics or languages, I'll get more videos regarding that topic. If I start looking up videos of, let's say, in this case, VTuber clips, I'll get more VTuber clips. If I start watching more, one or two. Oh no, all it takes is one. Like last night, I got a recommended trailer for a clip from Crunchyroll from this one anime. Watched it, liked it, boom, started getting more of it within the same hour or within 10 minutes. Started getting more recommended videos of like anime clips. So yeah, I encountered this through YouTube. Habromania. Again, very interesting. I am quite intrigued by the game. I don't know. I am a big fan of the aesthetic and nature and vibes. I hate using the word vibes, but it's the best word I could use. And the, the feelings that are evoked by like old Gothic literature and Gothic horror sort of thing. I'm just a big fan of that. It's like, if you've ever read an Edgar Allan Poe work, that's the sort of fiction and like the literature I really like. Like, let's say The Raven or The Mask of the Red Death or the Haunting of House Hill, was it? Or Haunting of Bly Manor? No, it's not Bly Manor. The Haunting of House Hill, the Labyrinth, the Pendulum, the famous Cask of Amontillado, and the Telltale Heart, about the story, of some guy being eaten up by guilt, that it's like he could hear the heart of his victim that's been buried under the floorboards. Those sort of stories I'm a big fan of. And this is giving Grimm Brothers Gothic horror sort of vibes. And not Gothic horror, but Gothic literature sort of vibes. You know what I mean? I'm not sure if I'm using the right adjectives here, but hopefully I am. Hopefully you're picking up what I'm putting down, you know? What is this? Motion Rec. Official announcement trailer. Motion Rec. Oh, okay. First game was As We Unite. That was the political sim and strategy game. That was, with a computer that's like 4:3. And it looks like analog horror. Second one, Easy Delivery Co. Third one is Haste. Fourth one is Habromania. This one is Motion Rec. Is all of this Edgar Allan works? So all of the book, like the literary works I mentioned earlier, yes, they're all Edgar Allan Poe works. So the Cask of Amontillado, I don't quite remember the name of it. I think it's Cask of Amontillado, the Telltale Heart, Mask of the Red Death, The Haunting of House Hill, The Raven. What else? I'm trying to think. The Pendulum. Yeah, those are all Edgar Allan Poe works. I didn't realize how much of a fan of Edgar Allan Poe I was until I realized I've read at least like 6 or 7 or 8 of his works. Some of them are poems, and a lot of those stories that I mentioned are actually just short stories. Like, you can read them in one afternoon or in an hour max, probably. So they're short, relatively short works, but I do like the atmosphere that they establish. Like The Mask of the Red Death, for example, took place during the Black Plague, well, it's called Mask of the Red Death because they're one of the, I don't know if it's a real character, but I guess one of the characters in the story wears a red mask or whatever, and it sort of highlights how, while everyone else around, like outside of the castle walls, are dying, the rich and, privileged are just having a masked masquerade. It's called a masquerade, when they have a ball with masks. With like fancy masks. I think it's called a masquerade. Anyways, while the rich are just, engaging in their hedonism and their parties and what have you, while everyone else is dying. But then I think the ultimate story of the film is that death, reaches everyone, no matter who you are, where you're from. So yeah, it's cool works. It's cool works. I could go on. I do like I could go on about Edgar Allan Poe's works. The first of his work that I've encountered was the whatchamacallit, Annabelle Lee. That was his poem, and that's probably my favorite poem. And I memorized the poem because I participated in a poetry competition. Now it's not like poetry that we had to write ourselves. We just had to read a poem, choose any poem that we want and deliver it in a poetic way, of course, naturally. And Edgar Allan Poe's poem is the one that oh shit, I restarted my playlist. Fuck. Edgar Allan Poe's poem, Annabelle Lee, was the poem that my mom chose for me. And I ended up memorizing the poem and delivering it in a competition. Ended up winning first place, not to brag. But yeah, Edgar Allan Poe's Annabelle Lee is my favorite poem. To this day, I still have it memorized. What is this? Oh, this is a game. So they're just talking about games that, I've been meaning to play over the next, I don't know, the games I'm interested in that I really want to play. So, that list of games that I had initially, that I did a stream of like, oh, these are the games I want to play in the future. Yeah, let's throw that in the bin. I'm starting afresh. The next few weeks, like, a lot of the games that I used to play before I went on holiday, I'm just gonna put those on hold for a bit, pause it, just to, start something new, because I'm keen to play new games, because novelty is what motivates me in life. So I'm gonna be playing, to summarize what I said earlier, Oblivion, the remaster of Oblivion. I'm gonna be playing Clair Obscur 33, or I guess Clair Obscur, how do you say 30 in French? 33, because I heard it's really good. And, it's in French. It's gonna motivate me to learn French language eventually, amongst, with Japanese, but I'm probably gonna prioritize Japanese for my future travels. And what's the other game? Blue Prince, which is some roguelike puzzle game. And what's the other game? Oh no, not the baguettes, but the baguettes are good! The pain au chocolat? Delicious! The omelette du fromage? I actually don't even like eggs too much, so I don't know why I said omelette du fromage. What else? Roblox, maybe? Outer Wilds? Outer Wilds, I really want to play Outer Wilds. Yeah, it's Clair Obscur 33, Oblivion, and Blue Prince, and Outer Wilds that I really, really want to play. I'll probably play it, Clair Obscur 33 in the French VA as well, just to make it immersive, I prefer my games and animes that subs instead of dubs, please. So, yes, I'm going to be playing that. Plus, it's a turn-based strategy game. I haven't had that in a while, so I'm keen. I am bloody keen. I'm excited. That's why I'm playing that tonight. Anyways, sorry for freaking out. Anyways, I shall continue. What was I doing? I was talking about Edgar Allan Poe. I recommend reading Edgar Allan Poe if you haven't. His works are available in the open domain, which is pretty good. Which is what you want, because it means it's free. Who doesn't like free things? You know what I mean? Okay, hold on. Boom. Okay, let's play. So this is another game I wanted to play. Hold on. Which tab do I have open? In before I get someone saying, oh, you have way too many tabs open. I swear to God, why do people have a problem with the number of tabs I have? It's just like, what, 12 tabs? Well, actually more than 12, but still, I need all of those tabs. You know what I mean? I swear, the people are just against my lifestyle. They're against me having my taskbar in the left side, vertically. They're against me having my tabs in the left side when I'm at work. It's like, my guy, leave me alone. They're against me playing with inverted controls, X and Y axes. I hate how it's axes, the plural of axis, not axes. Look at that. It's cute. Yes, we hate you. I'm just built different. This is why people are just constantly challenging me to, like, gummy bear challenges, curling 35 kilograms in 7 months challenges. People just want to see my downfall. Oh, but this is so cool. I just, like... Again, it has the old pixel, the pixel graphics, which I'm a big fan of in games, and it's a platformer. This game just... okay. The game hits all of my interests. It has chiptune music, pixel graphics, a cute little robot. It's a platformer. Perfect. That's literally just me. It literally speaks to the inner part of my brain. It touches on the lizard part of my brain is like, yes, play this. It's a cute robot. Who doesn't like cute robots? And it's a platformer. And it's chiptune music. Oh my god. I wish I could, like, compose my own chiptune music. It's my favorite type of music. It's cute! And it's challenging. I love challenging myself, because I guess I like pain. Maybe. Oh, look at him! Oh, so cute! You robot! Oh my god. Motion Rec. So yes, I'm also interested in that. Oh my god, I love cute little robots. Ooh. This is another game. Oh yeah, this is like it's giving like old Japanese horror game from the PS1 era.
なぜなら世の中は悪意に満ちているからだ。
Again, it really hits the nail. Like it's pretty much what I like. Retro-looking game, low poly aesthetic. Ah, so good, so good. Oh my god, I can't get enough of this like aesthetic. Ah, man, you know what? Fuck them 4K graphics games. We need more games like this. Can I have a simple game, please, that I could run that is less than 40 gigs? I'm getting tired of games requiring 100 gigs of space, and I have to uninstall all my other games. That's how I learned the hard way that 1,000 gigs of SSD space is not even enough anymore. Ooh, I think the game's a bit too loud, isn't it? It's a bit too loud, innit? Oh, look at that. It looks so good. It looks so fun to play. Ah, I love it. I love it! Labyrinth and the Demon King. Out May 13th. Oh, it's out! Hey, yo! Hold on. Hold the phone. Labyrinth King. Labyrinth King. Add to wish list. This is another cool looking game as well. It is a... What is this game? Nitro Express. Oh, yeah, it just looks like... it looks like it's a very good... Will be good for my attention span sort of game. You know what I mean? Like I said, there's so many things going on that you could barely keep track of. I love it. I love it. Bright colors flashing before your eyes. Lots of sounds. A lot of background noise. So good. Very nice. Very nice. Again, it's pretty cool, but I probably am more hyped or interested in the other games I've shown. But, you know, I'm still interested in this. Just because it looks like I'll have fun. You know, if you ain't playing games to have fun, why you playing? You know, you're only playing yourself. Checkmate. What's this? Oh, it's another Labyrinth of the Demon King. Oh, let's watch it again, because why not? Watch it twice. And this is why I love indie games. They're just all so different and unique. It's like, and I don't know. It's just like these sort of games appeal to me more. You know what I mean? Your $100 game that's 4K and open world. I'm like, nah, I'll pass. A $20 game that looks like this? Fuck yeah! I'm willing to pay money for something that doesn't look as impressive. You know? For something that looks retro, that's what I mean. I mean, it looks impressive. Old. Well, some may say old, some may say a fascination with older technology. Hey, if you're calling me old, that means, by extension, people who have been, all y'all are old as well. You know? I'm just saying, you call me old, you're all old. Haha! I say that as I browse like vintage stores in my free time and buy older things. Oh, again, I'm gonna be showing photos of my travel later, so I'm gonna be showing like all the cool stuff I saw in that vintage store, including all the cassettes I bought. I bought like 9 cassettes. What do you mean I'm young or Skibidi Toilet or whatever? Aha! That's where you fucked up. Skibidi Toilet, that's a thing of the past. It's about the Italian brain rot. Tralalero tralala. You know? The tung 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 sahur. The bombini gozzini. Cappuccino assassino. Parosha, your age is showing. That's not very Skibidi Sigma of you. The game was in development for 4 years. Oh, really? Oh, shit! Man, that's gonna be so much cooler to play then. That's like when what's his face? When Concerned Ape made the Stardew Valley in 5 years. 5 years of like development to make a really good game. Tung 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 sahur. Did you know that tung 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 sahur was actually well, I think it was Cappuccino Ballerina or Ballerina Cappuccino was actually cheating on Assassino Cappuccino with tung 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 sahur. I saw a video about it. But in the end, I feel like a lot of them seems to have been arrested. I know Tralalero Tralala was arrested. Tung 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 Sahur was arrested. I'm not sure if Vaca Saturna Saturnita was also arrested, or was it Bufo Fatelo, or what was it? Frigo Camelo Bufo Fatelo. I'm not sure if he was arrested as well. My nephews keep saying this is driving me crazy. Isn't that Indonesian? Yes, Tung 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 Sahur is technically Indonesian. It's the only Indonesian one there, but I don't know why it got. I guess it got lumped into the rest of the Italian, what you would call it, brain rot, because it's, it's of like, I guess, a similar sort of vibe. But yes, there is actually lore behind it. Oh, it was, sorry, I'm thinking of Patapim. Patapim got arrested. I think Patapim's son died, and he ended up going to the nearest city to ask for help. However, given, he's like some, I don't know, like a Bigfoot-looking guy or animal or thing, he ended up causing some panic in the city, and then he got, well, unfortunately, he's now arrested. So, patapim, tralalero, tralala, tung tung sahur, they're all now in prison. Wait, I don't know if tralalero, tralala is in prison. I know Bombardino Crocodilo is still free. Well, he's a giant-ass plane, so how could you arrest him? So, yeah. We got Lord Reynat. Of course, that's why you're in it. If honestly, if if we were to watch a video right now of like, oh, can you guess the Italian brain rot? I could probably guess it, and I know I could probably guess it because I was watching those videos during the holidays with my little brother, and we both got it right. I technically introduced him to it. I think he may have had a passing interest in it. And then I talked to him more about it, and then he got interested in it as well. So now we're both very knowledgeable in such things. One time I was in my nephews keep saying this, driving me crazy. One time I was in the train. I tried bringing up the tralalero like Italian brain rot in the office. Sad to say, it's I'm a bit too ahead of the game. It hasn't reached normie levels of acceptance yet in the office. So sadly, no one could really relate in how funny it is. Only I could laugh at such things. It was sad. I couldn't say tralalero tralala just casually, and then people would just be like, what the fuck are you saying? So, sad. Very sad. One time I was in a train and a toddler yelled cappuccino assassino the whole time, and I wondered what our world has me, I am that toddler saying it in public. It's funny because it's like I'm actually the one who says it in public, which my little brother is really embarrassed about. Especially when I ask my parents to say it just for fun. Because my little brother hates it when my parents say such things. I'll tell my mom, just say tung 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 sahur. And she'll say it, and my brother will be like, no, Mom! Stop, please! So it's really, really funny. It's hilarious. Probably the funniest thing ever. There's a new... I feel like at this point, Italian brain rot is a bit older as well. I think we have gone past those memes, because I don't know if I did encounter this morning some Vietnamese brain rot. So it's like Italian brain rot, but it's in Vietnamese. Not sure if it will fly. There's potential, but I feel like it's almost seen as a parody or as a deviation from Italian brain rot. So that makes me doubt if it's ever gonna fly, if it's ever gonna be as popular as Italian brain rot. But let me just look at my Instagram reels here. I'm so glad, man. I don't know. If you just see my reels, I think it's gonna be a rather interesting experience because everything is placed brick by brick. What else? I've been getting a lot of those memes of like, your homeboy whose initial starts with whatever letter is like the most charming, handsome, blah 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 blah, that sort of thing. Okay, that's me. I share those. Like, it's funny. Instagram Reels are old. Look, it's Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts, okay? And occasionally the TikToks, okay? Occasionally. I feel like TikTok's algorithm works well, but it works differently than Instagram's. I feel like Instagram algorithm is much more... It's like Spotify versus YouTube when it comes to music. In this case, my Instagram algorithm has so much more bricks that I've placed, so it's guaranteed to recommend me something that I will enjoy, compared to the TikTok one. YT Shorts are old. What do you mean? The kids watch YouTube Shorts as well. Right? Right? Chat, back me up. Like, right? Okay, I say that, but my YouTube shorts mostly consist of clips from movies and shows. Recently, I've been getting more of the Rookie, that cop show with Nathan Fillion. I don't watch the show, but I do get a lot of reels from that, and Reddington, and a bit of that. You know, that I Am Very Smart show, Suits. So yeah. Anyways, my dad watches those. Okay. I didn't realize your dad was as young as me. Wow, that's kind of weird. Haha, because, you know, I'm a young guy. Haha. I say that, but I'm actually closer to 30 now than I am to my 20s. Sag? Maybe. But you know what they say, with age comes wisdom, so I feel like, you know, I'm just wiser now. So, yeah, my dad watches that. Okay, so, look, my dad, actually, look, my counterpoint, my dad watches reels on, like, Facebook, so I think that's an older person thing. The daddy, yep, that's definitely one of my nicknames at work, you know, Papi, Daddy, Big Dog, Cupcake or Pudding, you know, I accept all nicknames. Make sure it's a capitalized at least, Daddy with a capital D, but, oh god, that's so cringe. Okay, man, that was so cringe to say even for me, and I say cringier things. Okay, let's continue with my... Shut up, Pokemon. But yes, I feel like I give... Surely, and I know my haters will disagree with me, but surely I give daddy energy, right? I was having this conversation with a co-worker, and I was like, look, I feel like I told him, I don't know how we ended up in this conversation. Well, to be honest, I don't know how we end up in half the conversations we engage in. Anyways, we ended up in this conversation of like tops and bottoms and whatever, and I told him, look, I'm pretty sure I'm probably a top. I don't know. But, you know, because, like, I'm a coach. Coaches don't play, but they know the game, you know? But if I were to play the game, I feel like I'll be a top. And he was like, nah, you'd be a bottom. I was like, nah, bro, I'm definitely a top. At the very least, I'll be a power bottom, if ever. You know? I'm willing to be a switch, so long as I'm a power bottom. And he's like, nah, you're giving bottom energy. I'm like, ain't no I'm giving bottom energy. I feel like, you know, yes, I may have a build of a twink, and I may have no facial hair because I shave it off, but top energy, regardless. Oh! In the vintage store as well, I saw a really cool old TV. It was only for $100. I really wanted to buy it, but it was black and white. So I was like, oh, and it was a good size as well. Anyways, I'll get to that later. I mean, I feel like that's just typical banter you have with your friends and or coworkers, you know? It's like, amongst other things, it's like, oh, do you think I'm a top or a bottom? It's like, I think you're a bottom or a top, you know, that sort of thing. I was telling him about again, because I'm a coach, coaches don't play. I was telling him about the thing I told y'all about, you know, the strangling thing, where there's a difference between strangling for, let's say, intimate activities and strangling to kill. And he was like, oh, I never knew that. And I was like, well, now you know. Now you know. I'm like an encyclopedia of random knowledge. What is this game? Oh, it's this game. Hold on. Wait. Oh. Hey. Bloop. Opening my window. If you're not having such conversations with your friends, are you really friends? I'm just saying. There's no better sign of a friendship than saying the most out-of-pocket things to each other. Oh, so this game is like Papers, Please. So it's a very bureaucratic sort of game, but it takes place in 1998 Indonesia. I don't know what exactly took place in 1998 Indonesia. But it is a historical event. So, this game I might play with a bit more seriousness than usual, given the setting of it. But it's interesting. Again, I know very little about the events of 1998. The Tollkeeper's story. Not sure if it was during the dictatorship era in Indonesia. I know they had two. The first two presidents were engaged in dictatorships. That's as much as I know with Indonesian history. Oh, this game I really like as well. Again, it's giving old school vibes. I don't know. I feel like the aesthetic of the 90s and 80s were so much better than the minimalist Apple-like aesthetic now. Fuck you, Apple. Anyways, Apple hate aside. Things just had more character back in the day, you know what I mean? With the number of mechanical farts and like parts, And like, I know I used to say I hate gimmicky things, but I feel like the gimmicky things of the past were at least fascinating because it involved mechanical parts. Now, if it's gimmicky, it's just like, oh, look, you can make a Bitmoji. Oh, look, it's AI. You can generate Studio Ghibli-looking picture. Why? Why would you need... Who uses that? Honestly, like, I do not see the point of such AI developments. AI development as a tool, like there's this one AI tool that could recognize like cancer cells early on. Amazing. Using AI to like, oh, generate me a picture of myself, but in Studio Ghibli form. It's like, why? Who cares about this? Just, my guy, no, it's dumb. It's gimmicky. It's like, who gives a crap? Just watch real movies and stuff. Oh, look at my AI art. My guy, you didn't do any AI art. You just typed a prompt. At the very, like, all you did was type something. You moved a few fingers. Oh, finally, I got an art. No, my guy, you gave a prompt to something. I might as well just Google my own thing. God, I hate AI. You know how much water it takes? And it, like, burns up or evaporates? Just like how much electricity it costs just for a silly prompt like, ChatGPT, can you summarize this? Can you, I don't know, write me an essay or something? My guy, just write the essay yourself. Why else were you given a brain to use? Write the essay, my guy. Jesus. Just pick up a pen. Or you just use your keyboard and actually type on a Word document. Please. Come on. We don't need all of this AI stuff. And then you get like, okay. My apologies. I'm entering the rant stage, but you know, my stream, my rants. Okay, so it's like it's so dumb and stupid. It's like, why, my guy? What is the point of all this? And now, like, even like Google searching is now ruined. It's if you make a search, it's like, oh, here's an AI summary of this. Half the time, it's not even correct. There are many such instances where it's incorrect. It is not even AI. It's a language model. It doesn't think. Stop calling it artificial intelligence. It's a language model. If it were truly intelligent, it'll be like R2D2 or C3PO, not a advanced summarizer, an advanced paraphraser. Because that's what it is. An advanced mimicker. It's a mimic. It's essentially a mimic. I hate that they implement AI basically everywhere. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's so stupid. Like Instagram had AI search, and I'm like, why? My guy, I'm not like, why? TikTok has AI search. Again, why? Google has it. Facebook has it. It's like, oh my god, I don't care. Give me real results. At this point, when you have to Google something, you have to Google, oh, how do I, let's say, I don't know, how do I fix a runtime error? Reddit. You have to add the word Reddit in the end, just to ensure you don't get some AI garbage. Well, to be fair, even before AI garbage, searching was already kinda screwed in Google, since it's what you get recommended are a lot of ads, because, you know, people learn to manipulate the I guess like search engine optimization. People engage in that, so it's a bit skewed, but still. And in college, almost everyone do the homework with AI, and there will be constant to that, I'm sure. Yeah, I goddamn hate it. Now, I do realize I'm a bit of a Luddite. I'm a bit of a I think hater is a strong word, but I'm a bit of a disliker of modern technology, like, you know, fingerprint scanning on my phone, and of going cashless by having all my cards in my phone as well. I just feel like, one, it's just such an invasion of privacy. I feel like the moment any of your information is in a device, it is accessible with enough effort. Nothing is truly inaccessible with an electronic device, especially once it's connected to the network. I feel like you're already vulnerable. A device will never be truly 0% vulnerable unless it's like there's an air gap. You know, if you buy a device that's never been connected to the internet at all, and it's an old school device, let's say pre-2011, I feel like that is a secure device, right? So you can never really have 100% privacy in things. But yeah, you know, like, but I digress. The AI stuff, it's just silly, in my opinion. It's overhyped. I still do not understand why a lot of billion-dollar companies are still pushing for it when it's like, my guy, I don't need this. Like Microsoft, instead of pushing this AI for me, how about you do not force me to log into a Microsoft account to install the operating system? How about that? How about, you know, not changing the aesthetic to make it look like Apple and just sticking to what works, the Windows aesthetic. How about that? You know what I mean? How about, Adobe? How about you do, like, instead of investing in AI, I'm sure they invest in AI. How about, not being a scum and charging me $65 to cancel my subscription? It's like, it's the little things in life. I've been considering strongly to switch into Linux for this reason, but I want to first probably buy an old laptop, like an old ThinkPad, probably like cheap from eBay, and then experiment on Linux with that. Then I'll eventually buy myself another SSD card, so I could boot either into my, so I'll have two operating systems, one SSD card running Linux, one running Windows, and eventually set up my Linux operating system or environment slowly, and if it's good enough for streaming, I'll probably start streaming with a Linux setup. Because honestly, it's annoying. Like, I'm still currently in Windows 10, thank heavens. I had to edit the registry to stop all sorts of automatic updates. Now, I know that makes my machine vulnerable because they're going to stop supporting it this year. But fuck it, I do not want to switch to Windows 11 as much as possible. I'll make the switch to Windows 11 in probably, 3 or 4 years. Or I'll probably switch to Linux before I even switch to Windows 11. Because, yeah. Anyways, rant over. Old man yelling at the sky here. I'm done with my rant. Let us continue with our little watch-along. So, God, I hate AI so much. God, I hate it. Out of principle, I know brain rot memes, engaging in such things is a bit of, you're a hypocrite for engaging in that, but that's just a dumb thing. It's not forced down upon me. It's been recommended, and I choose to engage in it, and it's just silly and funny. It's like, haha, that's dumb. It's not like taking people's jobs or artists' jobs away or whatever, which is so dumb. Oh, look at that. It's this sort of oh my god, look at that. Again, big fan of the aesthetic. Bro's not beating the old man allegations. Bro wants to be born in the 80s so bad, or 70s so bad. I do like the slowness and the inconvenience of older technology. I feel like it slowed down life a bit more. I don't know, like having a limited number of tapes makes you want to treasure each moment you capture on video more than if you were to just randomly record it on your phone. You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like it's much with physical media because it's slower to develop, slower to digitize. Well, at this point, it's slower to digitize. There's much more to the process. It feels so much more intimate, and it's like, I don't know, it feels much more, you form more of an attachment with the media you capture, right? Like, I've been taking videos with my cassette tapes, like, for the past few weeks now, and it's like, I don't know, it feels like, back then when I just had my phone, I didn't feel like taking videos at all or pictures, but now that I have a video camera on cassettes, I feel like I actually almost feel like documenting a lot of things in my life. And even the idea of owning a film camera, I feel like if I have a film camera, I will honestly take so much more pictures, even to the point of probably, I don't know, like developing the film myself, printing out the photos and making my own scrapbooks. I don't know, like my mom used to do that when we were younger, like take photos with her old film camera, because it's filmed back in the day, have it developed, and she'll make photo albums with caption stuff. And I feel like the deliberate act of documenting and putting together your memories, it's so much more, it makes it so much more concrete and vivid in your head. It makes you, or at least makes me, treasure the moment a bit more. If I just capture random videos on my phone, I'll forget about it, because like the moment I finish capturing a video, I'm just done. But if it's in a physical form, it's just like, it physically exists, it feels like it's not merely a concept. It's not merely a figment of, I don't know, it's beyond data and information. It becomes something so much more physical, tangible. If it were in a disc or a cassette, it feels like it's tangible, even though it's not. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense, but physical media makes the media feel more tangible and stuff. It's like when you used to rent movies back in the day, it feels more it was a ritual that my parents and I had where every Sunday we'd go to a video store, rent out a movie, and watch a movie in the weekend. It was just like, that feels so much more better. It made it feel more special compared to just, let's just turn on Netflix or something. You know what I mean? It is in the digitization of in many things, with the advent of the cloud, the ritual of things are just lost. The ritual has been lost, which is sad. Anyways, again, I like the aesthetic of the game, and I like this song as well. It's Dark is the Night, a classic song from a Soviet song from, was it World War II or World War I? Well, if it's Soviet, it's World War II. But I feel like it preceded the Soviet Union as well, because I think it was a song that became popular in World War I. Legends have it that the original recording is lost because the woman who was recording or transcribing the music got really emotional while listening to the song and ended up tearing up on the original, let's say, film or cassette and ruining it. Or tapes. Again, a lot of these, it's like, what was that game? Metro? Where it's like Slavic or Eastern Europe apocalyptic-ish scenario sort of thing, where it feels a bit like doom and gloom, post-apocalyptic. I actually really dig those as well. It's it's adjacent and very similar to like the gothic horror vibes, where it's like, it's not necessarily ghosts or supernatural beings that you have to be afraid of. It's the fact that you're alone, but it feels like you're not. It feels like you could die anytime. It feels like something could come at you. Either some imaginary beast or the environment itself will kill you. And I'm much more a fan of that type of horror. Misery, available this June. I'll wishlist that on Steam. So yeah, those are all the games I've been interested in checking out. I want to learn how to play that song as well, but I don't want to be carried away with be too ambitious and want to learn every guitar song on the planet. I feel like I'm starting to get too ambitious again with the guitar. I've been listening to a lot more like flamenco style guitar music, and I'm like, man, I really want to learn flamenco music when I'm still a beginner. I know it's a slow journey to eventually get there. I just have to remind myself of that constantly. Yeah, I was gonna say it's giving Metro vibes. I haven't played Metro extensively, but when I played a bit of it a few years ago, I actually did really enjoy it. So I want to play it again on stream because I feel like, again, since I enjoy the environment of it, the vibe, I'm gonna enjoy playing it and streaming it. So yeah, there was another game you said that I might enjoy streaming. It was the Call of Cthulhu. Yes, again, the Holmesian, let's say, the Lovecraftian, gothic, nuclear, post-apocalyptic vibes. Though I really dig those sort of those themes in video games. It just speaks to the soul, for lack of a better term. I hope that makes sense. So yeah. Oh, okay. So now that we're done talking about games, let's talk about I need to readjust myself. Whatchamacallit? Travel pics, travel photos and stuff. So I'm gonna pull that up. Close this. And I'm gonna close this. Metro Exodus is one of the best games of all time for me. Okay, let me check which Metro I actually have. I bought a lot of Metro games because I think there was a bundle of a lot of them going on sale. Oops, excuse me. God, I haven't had breakfast yet, but I don't feel too hungry. But that's just me every morning anyway, and I feel like, it is one of the side effects of my medication, which is I don't feel too hungry. It is an appetite suppressant, which sucks, because if I have to build muscle, I have to eat a lot more than I usually do. But if I don't feel that hungry, it's going to be hard, because it feels like I'm force-feeding myself, even though I'm not force-feeding myself. Just side effect of medication. Anyways, what am I looking up? What am I talking about? Oh, Metro. I do have that. I'm not sure if I have Metro Exodus. I know I used to have Metro 2033. I know that's a bit of an older one. So I have Metro Exodus, Metro Exodus Enhanced Edition, and Metro Last Light Complete Edition. So I've got 3 Metro games that I could play in the future. One day. Not today, not now, but in the future. I will, again, I'm going to be pretty much playing games based off vibes. If I feel like I'm going to enjoy it, I'm going to play it, If I'm curious about a game, I may or may not play it, but if it's all about if I think I'm going to enjoy it. So, yeah. Travel picture times. Travel picture time. Travel pictures time? Yeah. Okay. sweet. Let me just... So I realized there's a better way to actually present photos in stream, and it's literally to just dump it in a PowerPoint. They don't... Like, PowerPoint is actually such a versatile program that I, like... It's so underrated, right? Even for, like, making memes. Like, fuck Photoshop, fuck meme-generating websites. Photoshop is a really good... Like, at least for making basic memes, so if top text, bottom text, it's actually really good. Like, using PowerPoint. PowerPoint is, yeah, again, it's such an underrated program when it comes to just, like, presenting things or making photos and stuff. So, yeah, let me pull something. Yeah, I think pigeonholing myself into just, like, oh, I should play this because I feel like I should play this. It's... You know, it's not as fun as being just like, you know, I'm gonna play what I want. I'm gonna do what I want because, and it's my stream anyway. So, you know, the world, this is literally my world and the world is my oyster. So, let's engage in another stream thing. Stream. There we go. Wrong folder. Images streaming. Travel. 2025, April and May. All right, so let me just gather. So first, I'm gonna go for the vintage store photos. Do I just drag all of these? Yeah, I'll just drag all of these. Hopefully it works. Oh, I don't think it'll work. May God bless my computer, lest it crash. Please don't crash. Is the stream still running? It's still running. Okay, cool. Cool. Okay, so how do I do this? I'm gonna do this. Oh, okay. I might have to... Okay, hold on. I'm gonna take my time. Ooh, this is gonna be... Fuck. So I'm just gonna copy-paste each and individual image. Okay. Hold on. I'm being very careful here because I don't want to accidentally... I'm doing multiple things at the same time, so I don't want my computer to just freak out and be like, oh, I can't run OBS anymore. Hee hee ha ha. You know? Okay, so I'm just gonna reorganize my things. Not my things, but my photos. So I'm gonna put them aside. Okay, I'm just gonna randomly arrange them in no coherent order whatsoever, just so it's somewhat visible. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. A second. Boop, 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 boop. Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay, so I think I've got it sorted. Okay, so. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna present my thing now, which I'm gonna use. What am I gonna use? I'm gonna go. Can I stream forecast? Can I do my PowerPoint? PowerPoint. Okay. Hey, there you go. I hope the photos are clear and ish. So, yeah. During my holidays, I went to a op shop. It's a vintage store. I guess you call it an op shop or a thrift store or a vintage store. I got myself a lot of cassette tapes. So, bro, do you know how expensive cassette tapes now are? Like, if I were to buy it online, because I can only buy it online, they're all like 15 to 25 bucks a pop, and that's for one cassette, not a pack. That's for one cassette. It's insane. And sometimes it doesn't even include delivery fees. So yeah, it's really difficult to get cassettes nowadays. Now, before I went to Melbourne, I managed to find a store, an online store. Though you could order online and pick it up from his place. But anyways, I found a store that sells cassette tapes. I ended up making an order. Ordering 3 cassette tapes there. 4 sort of tapes. 3 cassette tapes and 1 mini DV cleaner cassette tape, because why not? Well, honestly, I bought that cleaner cassette tape thinking it was just a normal 8mm cleaner cassette tape, because I didn't really read the entirety of the text. It was a mini DV one. So I need to get myself a mini DV device now in the future to justify its use. Anyways, so I made an order for like 3 cassettes, so that's like 20 each. That's like 80 bucks. And it's a bit of that's a lot of money, but still I was like, man, how often can I get cassette tapes? I don't have any cassette tapes anymore. So I made an order ahead of time, When I got to Melbourne, though, we went to an op shop, as I said, and dude, I was so lucky. I was just casually browsing the vinyl section and stuff, and I saw a little box underneath the shelf. When I pulled it out, I kid you not, 12 cassette tapes. 12 cassette tapes. I was freaking out, and they were going for $5 a pop. Compared to online, that's $20 a pop. I was like, I'd be a sucker not to buy all of these. So I ended up getting most of it. I did leave like at least 3 or 4 behind because I already bought 3 cassettes ahead of time. And besides, I thought, maybe there's someone in the future who's just like me looking for cassette tapes. I'll leave them at least something. How much a Walkman nowadays? Dude, a Walkman is pretty expensive as well. You'd be hard pressed to find anything for like $100. I have one that's called like a Parsons cassette player, which it was working okay. However, I feel like the belt was a bit worn out because it would play my cassette, but it would play it as if it were in slow motion. The good old I'm talking in slow motion. That sort of thing. It sounds deep, the voice sounds deeper and it's slower. That's what it sounds like. So I just do have to replace the belt of it. But yeah, Walkman, so like really expensive these days. I've actually been thinking twice about getting a Walkman. I might just get myself this CD player instead, because one, it's really hard to find cassettes for music, and I'd have to make the mixtape myself, which isn't too bad, but still. However, my main motivation for going to a to a CD player, to using a CD player, or it's called a Discman, or well, you'll be hard pressed to find those these days as well. But they still sell that in JB Hi-Fi, like a Philips CD player for music. Anyways, I digress. I decided to switch to that because a majority of the music I listen to are Japanese artists, and Japan still sells CDs for their music. And so, to me, I will still have I'll still be able to buy the music that I like with relatively much more ease because it's in a CD rather than if I were to buy it in a cassette. You know what I mean? So yeah, I might just switch to a CD player. Anyways, $5 a pop for each cassette. I ended up paying so I got 9 of them, which is less than what's shown in the photo. But yeah, I got 9 of them, so it cost me $45. But for 9 cassettes, and if I use long play mode in my camera, it's like 3 hours of footage. So I have 3 times 9, 27 hours of total footage available to me, and that's that's the luckiest I've ever felt. It's like pulling I guess a triple S character in a gacha game. It was so good. So yeah, I have all of these cassettes now. One of the cassettes, I'm gonna use it to test out, to practice repairing a cassette, because one of my cassettes, my personal cassettes at home, for old family movies, the cassette is ripped. That's the one I accidentally unwinded a bit too much with a pen, and boom, ended up ripping it. The other one, my boss, who, he just asked me if I could convert some of his tapes. I said, yeah, why not? I didn't mind doing it because it was good practice for me, and it was a good way to see if, well, in hindsight, it was good because I realized now that recording cassette tapes is actually so much easier because his cassettes are not damaged, whereas my cassettes were damaged by floodwaters. So sometimes I have to play certain parts, I have to spin the tape, go forwards and backwards several times just to make it work. So it sucks, but it is what it is. So yeah, it is a bargain. So I feel pretty happy to have been able to buy these. Now, these are just regular 8mm cassettes. The high 8 cassettes are higher quality and hence are a bit more expensive, selling at around 15 to 25 a pop. That's the sort of cassettes I bought from Old Mate online. So it's, understandably a bit more expensive, but I skipped on those and just stuck with the regular cassettes, which will give the same results anyway. So yeah. So what else? Ooh. So, cool. These are These are the other things I saw in the vintage store. I saw a mandolin. It was on sale for $30. They were selling it for $30. I wanted to buy it, but I didn't want to add another instrument to my collection of instruments I don't really play. I already have a harmonica that I barely touch. I don't want to add a mandolin to that as well, even though it was very tempting because it was only $30. I thought it was an oud at first. I would have really bought it if it was an oud, but it ended up just being a mandolin, which is fine. but I left it as is. Oh, that's the other one. That's the television that I saw. It was $100, an old school television, and it's smaller than my current CRT television in my room, but it was only black and white, so I was like, oh, I don't know if I really want to use something that just has black and white. You know, I'm into old things, but not that old of a thing, you know what I mean? I would prefer my visuals in color. There were a few cameras there as well. There were a few Polaroids and stuff, but I think they were busted, some of them, so I would have to buy individual parts, so I ended up not buying those. That's pretty cool. Saw an old Game & Watch. Now, Game & Watch, that's a bit beyond, way beyond my time, but when I saw that, I was like, oh, that's interesting. I know it's a relic of gaming history. There's a PSP selling for $295. Bro, seeing how much a PSP would sell nowadays makes me regret giving away my PSP to my younger cousins. Not that I hate my younger cousins. Well, they're not even my cousins. Well, they technically are. They're my cousins once removed. They're my first cousin's children. Which, technically, they're more like my nephews, but still. Anyway, yeah, it's a PSP. It's selling for $295. $295. Mind you, it's a refurbished PSP, but still, $295 for a PSP. Makes me regret giving away the two PSPs that we had. One of them was this sort of PSP, the black slim one. The other one was the thicker version. I don't know if that's an older version of the PSP, and this is a slim version of the PSP. But yeah, I don't like a pink, thicker USB, and I so regret giving it away now because I could have used it as a media player. You know, just have my movies and music in that device, and maybe even some reading material. Because if you ROM hack your if you hack your or jailbreak or whatever, unlock your PSP, you can use it for a variety of things. So yeah, $295 for a PSP, that is insane. That costs more than an original PlayStation 1, which are like $150 in net, and well, I almost said Netflix, on eBay. We'll just have some water. Give me a minute. Okay, one more. Ooh, okay, that's 600 ml of water, bottled water done. Nice. Okay, nice. So there's that. I know it's insane. $295 for a PSP. It is outrageous. Outrageous. What else? Oh, there were these old Game Boys as well. Look at, it's like $220 for a Game Boy, and a Nintendo Game Boy, refurbished, mind you, and a Game Boy Advanced cost probably at $220 as well. It is insane how much they would cost these days, these old things. It almost makes you want to not throw out anything that you own today, just so if you're interested in reselling, you could resell. It's a cool shop. I forgot the name of the shop, unfortunately. I think it's in, where the hell is this shop? I think it's in Geelong or something. I have no idea. But anyways, it's a really cool shop. Let's see. What else have I? Oh, there were a lot of like film cameras sold, which I wanted to buy, but I wanted to research first how developing your own film works before I committed to such a product. It's actually, it doesn't seem too hard, but it's more than I expected to develop your own film. So I thought you would need your own like dark room or red room to develop your own film. Not really. I think these days you could just buy a little kit that would help you in developing your own film. But the thing is, it's just I don't have anywhere to put that kit in, like all those chemicals and stuff. So I just like, that's why I'm not thinking of buying a film camera for now. I might just stick with buying a digital camera. PS1, I know, and it's the original thick, boxy looking PS1 as well. And that, as I said, $150. Again, it's so funny how it's so much cheaper than a Game Boy. I guess a Game Boy is rarer to come by compared to this sort of thing. But yeah, it's insane. It's $150. One of my coworkers still has his PS1 and PS2. And he still has a lot of his older games like Final Fantasy VII, the original one, Final Fantasy X, the original one, Kingdom Hearts, the original ones. He still has it. He just keeps it out of, because he has fond memories of it. Is there an analog in their controller? There is an analog stick, yes. So it's probably not the original controllers, probably the later releases of the controller that has the analog stick. I remember owning some of those. So yeah. It's the original PS1, but not necessarily an original console. I mean, controller. So yeah, those are all the cool things that I saw in the vintage store. There were a lot of cool looking clothes as well, which I really dig. I'm really digging the, you know, like what like dads used to wear, or like I guess they would be dads now. What people used to wear in the early 2000s in terms of like, you know, clothing. I'm a big fan of how it looks. You know, a bit loose and a bit more relaxed. You know, it's like let's say collared shirt, a button-up shirts with collars that are, you know, tucked in, and the pants are a bit more higher waist. You know what I mean? Those grandpa dad sort of look. I'm really digging those. That's pretty much what I was wearing while I was visiting parents the whole time. But yeah, I'm really digging that look. There were a lot of those clothes at the vintage store. I didn't buy them because they were a bit more than I was willing to pay, like $30, $40, which I guess is average price for a good quality shirt. But still, I was more interested in finding like a cassette player or CD player, which unfortunately I wasn't able to find. So yeah, and cassettes. So this is the current camera that I actually have. I could activate it now. I could actually activate it now. I might do that. Connect my camera and just take at least a video or focus it on my computer screen just to show you what it looks like live. But this is what the camera looks like. So this is not a new camera. This is literally the camera my parents bought in the early 2000s. And the only thing I had to replace was a battery to make it functional. But yeah, look at like the instant vibes and nostalgia just from that image. You know what I mean? It looks so good. It like feels so much more homey. You know what I mean? Like it gives me a warm feeling of home and stuff. So yeah. I bought a few other vintage stuff as well. No, this was from Amazon. I bought myself retro stuff rather. I feel like anything retro is anything that would have been available in my parents' time. You know, something that in their days. Anything that would have been a thing during my grandparents' time, that's what I would consider vintage. And if it was a thing during my great-grandparents' time, I would consider that antique. What's the name of the camera? It's a Sony TRV. Hold on, let me look it up. It's a Sony CCD TRV 107E. So I'll pull up an image online. Sony CCD TR7 107E. This is sort of what it looks like. I'm trying to find a more accurate looking one. Probably looks more like this. This is what my camera currently looks like. And it works like a charm. Sound's still working. The visuals are still working. So, if you will, allow me a minute. I will actually set that up right now. So, give me a second. Hold on. Pause. Hold your horses. Okay, I got the camera off the stand. I'm gonna set it up. So give me a second. Connect it properly. I might need to turn off the recording in my cassette just so I don't... Nah, I'm not gonna overwrite anything. So it's fine. Guys, did you know? I didn't realize that this was a feature of cassettes, but you can turn off the recording feature of it, you know, less if you don't want to accidentally record over something while you're watching the tape back. There's like a little... I guess it's not available in all cassettes, but there's like a little physical like thing that you just flick on the cassette and it like ensures that you don't record over anything, which is cool. Alright, cool. So it's connected. Now I just need to set up my OBS scene. Make sure I'm not showing something that I don't want to show. Footage. Okay, cool. So it should show up here. I'm gonna turn this off for now. Okay, sweet. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna connect my little thingamajig. Yes, I should. Okay, so I'm gonna connect the S video cable and my AV cable, which connects to both a red and yellow jack. How do I? Okay, wait, hold on. How do I flip this? Is it this way? Yeah, I think it's this way. I want to be really careful with this. I don't want to accidentally damage a thing, because again, it's harder to repair this older stuff. Like, for example, this camera, when you look through the viewfinder, it doesn't you can't see anything, and that's because the capacitors are just busted now. They're like, just, you know, as a natural result of age. But, so yeah, hence I'm trying to be very, very careful with this camera. So, but it's surprisingly durable. It's still, well, it's still surviving. It's still alive. So, properties, let's see which camera this is. Okay, I'm gonna do, okay, cool. Camera is on. I will now activate said camera. Hopefully. Okay. Properties. I might have to flip things around. I'll do custom and device default. Hey, there you go. As you see that? So this is, okay, hold on. If I pull out my, look, it's okay. It's a bit like, whoa, look at that. It's like video within a video, Inception sort of thing. But see, it's like, it's very instantly very nostalgic. Okay, so let me actually move this video aside because I'm blocking everything. See that? It's so cool, right? The instant vibes. It's like instant nostalgia, and this is taken in 2025. So yeah, look. 2004 vibes. I know, right? So that's you. See, that's you, Marco. Hello. Okay, it's not focusing, but still. Oh, that's you. That's your message. And there's even night vision mode, which is really cool. So if I do this, boom, night vision. Hell yeah. Boom, it's just like Outlast. Oh, you see that? It says night shot. Very cool. This is my second monitor where I have all my OBS stuff. Here's my current desk, a keyboard. There's my mug, that's my mouse pad. Don't question the mouse pad. But yeah, it's pretty cool, right? And I love how slow the zooming in and zooming out is. Whee! Whee! So yeah, pretty cool camera. I'm so glad it still works. And it has pretty good battery life. Like, it shows 178 minutes now, but when okay, I'm gonna click record. Boom. So, for some reason, when I start recording, the time does change, and it becomes, like, the duration of the battery seems to be higher. So, hold on. It should show, unless it's not going to show now, but at least when I first ran it, it would say I have 178 minutes available left in battery life. Then when I record, it's going to say, oh, you actually have 200 minutes of battery life. So, yeah, I think 220 is my max battery life if I fully charge the device, but, you know, it hasn't been fully charged in a while. 178 minutes is for the battery, right? Yes, it's for the battery. It's 3-hour footage, so I have 1.5 hours left of footage to, with this little device. And yeah, it's 178 minutes for the battery. So I might as well, I'm thinking of buying myself a second battery. If you can see, oh, there's an LP near the recording, the word record. That's like long play, which allows me to take videos that are 3 hours long. Anyways, I'm thinking of buying a new battery, just so if I'm ever out and about, I can literally just use my backup batteries and stuff. So yeah, that's me! Hello! Hello, me! Bye! Okay. Bye! Okay. Whoop. Okay, that's gonna be a thing. Sweet. There you go. And that's my camera. I'm gonna disconnect this now, lest I accidentally record something else. Okay, I'm gonna put this back in its case, so give me a second. So yeah, that was my camera. It is pretty cool. Okay, now back to the PowerPoint. The other things I bought were, I bought these Persona-looking headphones because I lost my first pair of Persona-looking headphones. Bought it from Amazon, and I bought myself from, I think it's called J-Lab. You know those old retro headphones with like that are lightweight with the orange earmuffs? Yeah, I bought those, so I'm gonna look them up right now. Actually, there's my thing. J-Lab Rewind. I bought these, which are really cool because they're Bluetooth, so it has the look and lightweightness. It's really lightweight, and it has the look of the of those retro headphones, except it has the modern convenience of Bluetooth. And as much as I prefer wired devices, I don't regret buying this in Bluetooth because it is a bit more convenient. This is the same camera that your parents have. It is pretty much the camera that my parents bought back in the day. It is the camera they used to record family movies when we were young. So yeah, and I think I just ended up with me because I thought of converting all of our family tapes, and so yeah, now it's in my possession, and I'm its sole custodian. I'm its sole caretaker. I have another old camera, which is it's a bit more modern because it uses a SD card, but it still has that retro aesthetic, JVC Everio. I still have the JVC Everio. It works, except you no longer see anything in the viewfinder there. Like in the display that it has here, you no longer see anything, but the camera works. Because I tried zooming in and out, and you can actually see the lens zoom in and out. So, from what I've seen online, I just need to replace the... it's not a ribbon cable, but it looks like it's, I guess, some sort of ribbon cable on this area, which I just have to buy a cable to replace it. It is what it is. You know what I mean? So, yeah. And here's another picture of... this is how I found it in the little box. All of them cassettes. And I was like, yeah, I gotta buy all of these. So, those are the first set of photos. DuckDuckGo, interesting. Oh, in my attempt to de-Google, to secure more, to have more privacy online, because privacy, I believe, is a sacred right. I just went on it's a slow process, but it's a slow process to de-Google yourself. DuckDuckGo, it may not be the best. Sometimes I still find myself going on Google if I don't find anything on DuckDuckGo. However, for most things, DuckDuckGo does a good enough job in providing search results. So yeah. So speaking of cameras and stuff, I've actually encountered a few cameras that I want to buy. So there's this, my sister, because my sister bought like a digital camera herself. So she's told me of this app called Depop. Now people use it to sell clothes, as that's its main purpose. However, people also use it to sell vintage things. So yeah, okay, I'm gonna send this to the back. Send this to the back. Send this to the back. Cool. So it is a Canon AE with 35 mil film. This is what the camera looks like. It's not too bad because it's like what? Okay, maybe it's a bit it's a bit expensive. $170 for such an old camera, but it is an old camera if you really think about it. It looks really nice as well. That's what a camera looks like as a close-up, and that's the sort of pictures I guess you could get with the film. So again, big fan of the look. I haven't bought it yet. It's in my tab of saved things to buy. If I ever eventually buy it one day, maybe if I choose to do so. So hold on, I'm trying to get more pictures. Here's another camera that I thought of, that I've also added to the list. It's a Focal 860S. I know nothing about the Focal brand, the brand Focal, but it does look like an interesting camera. Boom. That's what it looks like from the little page of the camera. It's a film camera, but it looks very lightweight and small. You know what I mean? That's where the film goes, for those of you who don't know. For any younglings out there who are watching. Younglings born after the year 2001. Seems like it's a modern brand, but I'm not really sure. I'm not sure if it's a modern brand that's recreating retro stuff, or it's really a retro device. Yeah, that is the focal camera. It looks cute, which is why, you know, I just added it to my list of maybe things to buy. But yeah, I'm gonna all that. Next thing that I'm really interested in buying. Now, I have no intention of using this whatsoever, but just to collect it, just to see how it works, because it's a cool thing to have, I want to get it. See, now I feel like I understand what collectors feel like when they're collecting, like, figurines or Pokemon cards. I guess it is the same feeling of just like, oh, I know it has no practical use, but I just want to own it because it's cool, right? So the camera I'm about to show is a silver Hitachi camcorder camera. And the interesting thing about this is that it does not use an SD card. It does not use a cassette. Instead, it uses a disc. See that? It's interesting. I never would have thought that was a thing. You know? I know people burn CDs, but I never realized that you could. It just never occurred to me that you could record directly to a CD with the camera. It just never occurred to me because again, we went from cassette tapes to just SD cards. So this is really cool, and I want to own one just to see how it actually works. Maybe record a video or two, use up one entire CD, but it's such an interesting concept of using a CD to record and like save your videos and stuff. Again, it's so cool. Yeah, DVD, RAM, DVD-R, DVD-RW, read and write. It's so cool. It's so cool. Multi-format as well. I don't know what that means. For the intrinsic value. Yes, I'm buying the thing for the thing itself, not for its potential utility. But it's just so cute and charming, and it's so cool. I first saw a similar device in TikTok, and I've been keen to get one ever since. But yeah, it's a really cool device. It's a really cool device. This is probably on the top of my list of things to get when it comes to cameras, just because it's cool. That or this next one. Boom. It's a Nikon Coolpix E4300 digital camera. Quite expensive in eBay, if available at all in eBay. 4 megapixels, again, it's not impressive, but of course, you don't really expect something like... you don't expect it to match the quality of modern cameras, right? That's not why you buy it for. Look at that. That's such a cute camera. It's very, like, tiny and, like, chonky. It's a bit of a chonky and small boy. It's a very cute camera. The Coolpix 4300, which cost... Wait, how much does it cost? Hold on. Up. $120... $160 max, potentially? So, yeah. Again, a bit expensive, but, you know, what else do you expect? I like how square it looks as well. Look at that. Zoom, Nikkor, I don't know what that means. But yeah, it's a cool camera. That's one of the cameras that I've seen on TikTok that people use to get that, you know, cool aesthetic, vintage aesthetic, or I keep saying vintage, retro aesthetic sort of thing. The other one that I saw, which was interesting, it was either, I couldn't decide which old school camera I wanted, so I just saved both. It's a Pentax. Again, really cool looking. Wouldn't mind getting involved with film development, if developing my own film, if I were to acquire myself such a camera. Yeah, cool. This camera, it's not the most interesting, but I do think it's cool, so I still saved it. Now, this is the one that I was most interested in before I did further research. Boom. The limited edition forest green retro Polaroid one-step express camera. Tested and working, takes 600 film, which is available at most shops. Here's the catch. 600 film for Polaroid is actually somewhat expensive. And it's only Polaroid and two other companies, I think, who can make it. So, hold on. What was it? Box. Boom. Let me see. 600 film Polaroid. So this is the sort of film that Polaroid camera uses, which makes me think, given the way the packaging, the design of the packaging looks, it makes me think that maybe it's not really such an old camera, unless they just started recreating the remanufacturing the Polaroid 600 film. But my guy, look at the price. $72 for a double pack. And how much is in one pack? $223 for, bro, that is expensive. Like, this is a 16 instant photos, I guess one pack. So that's 32 packs, 72. That's like, wait, that's like almost $2 a pop, right? No, not really, actually. Let me pull up my calculator to do the proper math. So that's 32 divided by 72. Okay, it's not bad. It's like $0.44 for one, but still, it's like for $72 for 32 films. Damn, I'm sure back in the day it wasn't that expensive when people, you know, at its prime, when Polaroid was a thing. But yeah, that's why I'm reconsidering my purchasing of my purchase. Well, I haven't made a purchase yet, but I'm reconsidering purchasing a Polaroid, simply due to how much it actually costs to buy film. But in saying that, it is a cool looking camera though. That is the back side of it. As you can see, it's a bit of a thick one, which I really like. Makes it a bit of an inconvenience, which is what you want. Boom. You know, you want to deliberately slow yourself down, because why? You know, you're not in a rush. Life is not about the rush. Life is enough of a rush already, so you might as well slow yourself down. So again, it's a cool looking camera. Unfortunately, yeah, 600 film, ain't no way I can buy... Okay, this is the wrong camera. It ain't no way I'm spending that much just for, what, 16 pieces of the film? 16, yeah, individual units of the film, so... Yeah, so those are my camera purchases. Now let's see, what other pictures do I have? Oh, I got pictures of me and the cat. Got a lot of those. That's Pito, P-I-T-O-U, named after that character from Hunter x Hunter. Yeah, that's little Pito. Hi, Pito. Pito, Pito. Pito guy. So that's Pito. Where's my gallery? Okay. Oh. He's a cute little guy. Very hyperactive. My sister's planning on getting him sprayed soon, neutered. So, you know, bye-bye little balls of you, Pito. Oh, look at the cute guy! It took us a while for him to just look directly at the photo, but look at him! Oh, he's so cute! Oh my god, he's adorable. I love him. I love him so much. Bro, the cat is obsessed with me, let me tell you. Every moment, the cat is just like going in between, like walking through between my walking between my legs and stuff. There, at one point, I wanted to bake like some cheesecake and I couldn't bake it because the cat was literally just walking back and like just on me, you know, just on me, rubbing his head on my like arms or my neck, because I was sitting on the couch and he was like on the, I guess, headrest or the backrest of the couch, and it was just like, yeah, the bro was obsessed with me, which is, you know, not unexpected. I do have that effect on cats and people in general. But oh, hello, ICEV. Welcome, good morning. Ooh, a bit of a later than usual morning for you, eh? You're usually here at like godforsaken hours, which is the same you know, time I wake up, which is, you know, weird. But anyways, how's it going? How's how are things? How's the week? Hopefully all is well. Look at Pito, you cute little guy. Bro will have the zoomies late at night only to sleep for like during the morning. He's such an adorable little guy. And here's me with the cat. No face reveal, just a side profile, just to see him being on me and stuff. But yeah, look at him. Bro was obsessed. Again, every night he'd just find a spot to like next to me to sleep in, and he'd just sleep. Oh, that's him, you little guy. That was at like 9 p.m. You little guy. Here's us again in the morning or early afternoon. I was just chilling, and the cat was like, you know what, I'm gonna chill next to you. So here he was. Cute. Lots of work, lots of work, but doing all right. Nice. Lots of uni work, I assume. with the physics and the AI and stuff. How's that going? I'm assuming you're working on like either a paper or some project for school. Oh, it's me and the little cat. Oh, so cute. You know what he loves? You know what he loves? He loves getting chin rubs. He just loves getting his chin rubbed and a bit of this side getting rubbed. I think at one point, this part of his head was shaved. I don't know why. They might have, I don't know, maybe some, I don't know why it was shaved, but it was just shaved for some reason. But let's see, he just likes getting that part rubbed. Holy hell, he remembers? Of course I do. I'm a machine. I never forget. A thesis. Yes, yes, yes. A thesis. Nice. I love him so much. He's such an adorable little cat. The first time I went home, I started like sneezing a lot. Maybe it's because I'm not used to the cat hair yet, but I don't know. It's from what my buddy told me, my buddy who owns cats. It actually takes years for people to, you know, adapt or acclimatize to or get used to cat hair and stuff. But then again, I am built different, so maybe that's how I adapted to cat hair really fast. But anyway, look at him! So cute! The sleepy boy! He looks so innocent, but he's really like hyperactive and stuff. Oh, but I love little Pito. Oh, Pito, so cute! I miss Pito. I already miss him. Cute little guy. Oh, next! One of the things I did on the during the holidays was I went to Sovereign Hill. If you don't know what Sovereign Hill is, I'm gonna pull it up right now. Give me a second. A hot second. Okay. Let's see. Sovereign Hill. Go down to mine. I did not happen to go down to mine, no, because I was with my little brother and stuff. My parents and I and my little brother, and he was a bit bored of things. He didn't really want to do a lot. So we just, you know, did what we can. I mean, we're gonna go there next time anyway. I told them it's fine if you don't manage to do everything, because we can always go down there next time. And besides, when we went there, it was already like, what, 2 or 3 p.m.? Or let's say 2 p.m. So we just spent the time just exploring and looking at things, taking pictures. Didn't have much time to do the I think the mines were like a self-guided tour thing, so we did not end up doing that. However, let's add a new tab. Sovereign Hill. It's a ye old Gold Rush era little town. I'm not sure how much of it is a recreation and restored and how much of it is actually just legit. You know what I mean? But it's pretty cool. I think it's here in Sovereign Hill during the Gold Rush is where they found either historically the biggest gold nugget ever or the second biggest gold nugget ever. So yeah. So there is do I have pictures of the place here? So there's gold panning you can do. That was pretty fun. I did not get any gold, unfortunately. Confectionery demonstration. Red coat soldiers. That was pretty cool. At a regular time, the red coats would be going around the city or the little town, and then in the end of it, shoot their muskets into the air. There was some bowling. It's interesting how old school bowling works. It's two-handed. The ball itself doesn't have any holes to put your fingers in. That's why it's two-handed. And the aisle itself was, as you can see, it kind of looks like this. This is where you throw your bowling ball, and these two are the gutters and stuff. So it's more about the strength of your throw rather than... Yeah, it's about... There's still some skill in it, because if you throw it a bit too strongly, there's a chance that the ball will like swivel from side to side, like swing side to side and just like end up in the gutter and stuff, and you won't end up hitting the pins. And it's 9 pins instead of 8 or instead of 10. Again, very interesting. So we were here during the weekend. Sovereign Hill is the name of the place. There's a lot of like there were a few there. I know there's like a like in one of the old town buildings, you could take a picture of yourself in old-timey clothes. I think it's 50 for one person, 75 for 2 people, so it gets less. It costs less the more people you have. It costs less per person the more people you have in the photo. So that is pretty cool. I did not end up doing that, but I wanted to do that, use that as my corporate photo in the office. Because I think a few months ago I set like Seng from Final Fantasy as my profile photo because it was funny, and you know, my boss got an email. You know, someone was raising a concern saying, "Oh, that's not very professional of you. You should change your email." Blah 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 blah. You know, it's like understandable, but still a bit of a buzzkill. But yeah, oh yeah, there are people as well in the actual area dressed in historical clothing and acting their part. I remember at 3:30 there was like there's a bit of a sort of performance. One guy being, a resident of town, another guy being a resident as well with his wife, but they both got really rich because of the gold and stuff. And, they were just flexing their wealth, while the other guy was like, what has this town come into? Everyone these days are just here for the gold. All of this greed will lead to the societal decay, blah, blah, blah. But that was pretty funny. There were shopkeepers in character. Somewhat in character. I think, no, the shopkeepers were not necessarily in character. It's more the people out performing things. Like, there was this guy who showed us a demonstration of how a musket works. Or it's not a musket, it was a caliber. It was a single caliber or something gun. I do have a video of it. I might share that. I just have to digitize it. But anyways, yeah. I'm not sure if he's actually Scottish, but apparently he was one of the mounted troops that were stationed in Station Hill back in the day. Interestingly, they were paid a shit wage, but to get them to stay in that role, apparently anything that they could confiscate, like let's say someone was trying to steal gold or whatever, they could keep half of the loot. So that got him to stick to the job. Anyways, that guy, I'm not sure if he's real Scottish or not. He was in character talking about how the gun works, the history of the mounted troops, and he did it in a Scottish accent. So that is pretty cool. You got some people dressed up as, like, I would say the closest thing I could say is like French maid sort of thing, but it's not really a French maid sort of thing. In one of the coffee shops they had, the servers all were dressed up like this. So in a way, I've been to a maid cafe without being in a maid cafe. That was pretty interesting. What else? They got a cool shop. I did not see any horses there, unfortunately. Let's see what's on. Oh, there's the local pass that's just a carriage being drawn by a horse. Nothing too exciting. Wizard Jacob's Magic Show. I did not see that. Oh, I did enter the old theater. That was pretty cool. There's an old church as well. What else? That's all that I could remember. I'm trying to see. Cockney Sing-Along. I did not do that because we didn't stay late at night. I don't think we were there during Harvest Weekend, or we may have been. But yeah, it's just pretty cool stuff. And then there's the underground mine tours, which unfortunately we weren't able to do. Candle making, the demo. Candle dipping, China Sample Tour, I did not get to do that. Play space, yeah, we didn't do that. Oh, this is what I wanted to see, the blacksmithing demonstration. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to. So next time. But that was really, I would have wanted to see that. Surface machinery tour, quartz crushing demonstration. So yeah, I did not realize there was a gold rush in Australia till I got there. But that is pretty cool. Guided mine tours, that's it. So yeah, now back to the photos I had. So, I just tried taking aesthetic photos. That's Normanby Street, nothing too special. This is the view of the area for gold panning. As you can see, there's a lot of people just involved trying to pan for gold. Newsflash, buddy. There ain't no gold there no more. Didn't find nothing, at least. I recommend going down to mine at least once. Oh, yeah. I definitely plan on going down to the mines when I go back there. I don't know when, but when we go back there. True Darkness is cool. Oh, I assume you've been down to mines as well, eh? Very nice, very nice. Here's the photo of the redcoats. The redcoats are coming! The redcoats are coming! And you can see a lot of a horse dung there that was interesting. Made it smell like a zoo. The True... Oh, so nice. You have been down to True Darkness. I would assume from given that suspiciously smiling emoji. Or emote, sorry. But yeah, it's a cool place. You got a lot of old-timey looking stores, you know what I mean? Here's my attempt at an aesthetic shot of the old post office, where they had that little gun tour. Went 6 years ago or so. Oh yeah, oh I see. Wouldn't be surprised if things haven't changed too much. Yeah, it's just a cute, quaint little town, you know? Makes you feel like you wanna duel someone in the middle of the street in high noon, you know, and say this town ain't big enough for both of us or a deal. This is me trying to take an aesthetic photo with a camera. I was trying to take a photo of myself holding my old digital camera, so yeah. Hence it the way I'm holding it kinda looks weird, but yeah. It's me! In Sovereign Hill. Ooh. This is like the look of the town. I like that things like this exist. There should be more of them. Yeah, I 100% agree. I 100% agree. It's cool to see these sort of things. And like, if I were to be a tourist, and in that instance I was a tourist, these are the sort of things I like to engage in. It's just cool to see interesting things, you know? I don't really care about, you know, oh, let's zip line here. Oh, let's go to the club over there. Oh, I don't know, let's, I don't know, what other things do tourists engage in? Oh, let's go to the beach and swim, over the later. You know, I'd rather see this. I feel like, look, if I wanted to swim in a swim, I would have just gone to a pool. You know, why would I travel just to swim somewhere? It does not make sense to me. If I wanted to swim, again, I'll just go to the local pool or the local beach, if such exists. You know? I just feel like beach is a bit overrated, but that's just me. I feel like, why would I spend so much money to travel if I were to just swim in a sand pit? Anyways. But yeah, things like this, so much more cool. So much cooler. And I'm willing to actually spend money in places like these just because it's cool. And I'll show you the thing I've spent money on a bit later. Here's the view, the center of the town, as down, like, again, shops in the side, and then a main central road that people just walk on, and you got like a horse-drawn carriage. Pretty cool. It was a nice day as well. It wasn't too, well, it's Melbourne, so it's gonna be colder than, well, yeah, it's gonna be cold. But yeah, like, clear skies, cool day, pretty nice. That's my attempt at an aesthetic shot of a water tower. This is me taking a picture of things while I was in the horse-drawn carriage. Same thing. Again, really cool looking. A lot of them built in wood. And this is the one from the coffee shop I was in. I just really liked how this corner looked and how the lighting is in that area. So I took a photo of that. They, you know, it's a bit anachronistic, but in that place they serve, you know, they serve burgers, steak. They had some coffee and some, I don't think they had tea. They may have some hot tea, but yeah. Makes sense. The food will be a bit anachronistic, given, you know, yeah. Oh, this one is cool. Okay, how do I transfer this? I'm not sure if this will work. Hopefully it does. Okay, so this is one of the coolest things I've ever bought. Probably one of the coolest things I've ever bought in my life. An old pocket watch! It cost me like $35. But it works, and it's the coolest thing I know. I've never felt fancier in my life until I got that. That is so cool. I'm now gonna find every excuse to just wear it. Outside, inside, because it's just, look at that. It is such a cool device to own. What else? What else have I? So yes, that pocket watch, one of the coolest things I've ever owned. Here's a picture of the, I took a lot of, like, aesthetic looking photos because I wanted to experiment with, like, Adobe Lightroom and or Google's Snapseed, just play around with lighting and stuff. So yeah, that's why I ended up taking a lot of those types of photos. But it's an old church, which is quite interesting. And finally, just a picture of the sign, the next gold rush pour, which I didn't do because it's just pouring gold into something. So anyways, yeah, so Sovereign Hill, pretty good place to be in, I would say. Yeah, well, let's see, I'm trying to see what other photos I've taken. Oh, okay, there's this one place in Melbourne I've always wanted to visit and I've never managed to do so until recently, which was an international bookstore. So there's a bookstore in well, it's not Melbourne, the city itself, it's more like Footscray, I think, so near the Melbourne area anyway. It's like 30 minutes, I guess, from the main city. Anyway, they have this international bookstore, and oh my god, like, I kid you not, it is literally my dream bookstore. It has, like, all the language, not all, but it has a lot of language resources for whatever language you could, not for every language you could think of, but let's say, for languages such as, the classic German, French, Spanish, but they also have other languages like Arabic, Indonesian, Swedish, Norwegian. There's a lot of their majority of their library actually was taken up by French resources and just books. I guess French is just the most popular resource, but yeah, I managed to finally find myself Genki books, which I was so stoked about. I ended up buying both the workbook and the main book, but yeah, I was so stoked to finally find Genki books. It's just so much cooler finding it in an actual bookstore, but yeah, there you go. I even got a free bookmark that has like the katakana and hiragana on it, which is so handy, so cool. There are a lot more Japanese resources there, actually. There was, like, for example, Japanese for Busy People, which is I know is another resource. Minna no Nihongo, another popular resource for beginners. Apparently, this is the resource that my boss used when he traveled to Japan back in 1999 or 1998 or something. But yeah, I was just so happy to finally be in a bookstore that has a lot of things that and it has a lot of language resources. It's hard to find that these days. Oh, and there's one more photo. Bionicles! I asked my mom to pull up if she could find a lot of my old Bionicles that I owned when I was so much younger. And she managed to find them. Now, mind you, a lot of them are missing some parts. Like Attack over here is missing a sword. The hero factory guy here is missing the second part of his gun. He's missing a few things as well. He's missing an arm and another attachment, while his legs are falling apart and probably needs that ball thing that they three of them need that little ball piece that they shoot out. But yeah, I'm so glad my mom found it. I have it with me at home right now, and all I have to do is literally just find replacement parts. I have to replace a lot of the hands for many of them, because they're the parts that I guess are the most vulnerable to cracking and stuff. So yeah, I'll need to replace those yes, any time in the year. It's no rush. I mean, it's not urgent. It'll be good to display them again on my shelf anyway. So yeah, that is all the travel photos that I have. Let's see. Yeah, I feel like I've pretty much gone over everything to discuss, from games, what happened the past week, what happened, during my little holiday, games to stream the next few days, and by next few days I mean tonight and tomorrow. So yeah, I guess that's it. I'll have to grab some proper breakfast now, because it's proper daylight hours, and I haven't eaten since I've woken up 4 hours ago. At this point, is it 4 hours ago or 3 hours ago? I'd say 3-ish hours ago. So yeah, so tonight at around what does my Discord say? Hold on. Right. At 8:30 a.m. GMT, the 21st of May. Again, that's GMT or UTC. 8:30 a.m. UTC, 21st of May. I'll be playing good old baguette game, the Clair Obscur 33. Clair Obscur 33. So, I'm looking forward to that. I shall now grab myself some breakfast and plan out the rest of my day, because I still got a few things to do, like my washing, which I wasn't able to do yesterday because, time was a bit too late and stuff. So yeah, that's it. Thank you all for... It's good to be back to streaming, even though I'm not going to be streaming as much this week as I usually do. It's nice to be behind a computer again and behind the camera and play games again. Because, yeah, I just miss it. I like it. So yeah, hope you all have a good rest of your morning and or evening, and I shall see you all later. Bye! See ya!